Boop. Hit the live button. Wait for it to come through. There we go. How do we sound? Boop. Hit the live. Sound fine. How's everybody doing? How are we doing? Human Boy, you're in the main menu. Fuck yeah, I am. You want to see some shit? Oh, all the factions are gone. I reverted to the live version of the game to cast the replays so that nothing was wrong with them. Would hate for one of those like previous version bugs or something to pop up or you get a weird game. So I just went back to the old build. Okay, letting people stream in. What do we have? What do we have for the news? Tomorrow is a 2v2 tournament. Kill the King format. If you haven't played that or heard of it or whatever, it's a 2v2. One of you takes a normal army, the other one just takes a Lord and 2 Kingsguard, which is just 2 units with whatever you want. And if that king dies, you lose. It's like chess, but in Warhammer. So, you know, one partner's entire job is to support the army while not dying. Whoever's king dies first loses. If the game could be going terribly for you, you could be down, almost out, and then your king dies. Too bad, you lose. It's a for fun format. Some people wanted it while we buy time for Mortal Empires. It's good stuff. So what are we doing today? Live chat. Cuden just spamming a bunch of letters. I see. Hi. Left screen. Boop. We're in the Grey Seer finals. What that roughly means was we did playoffs for the Vermin League. The Vermin League was our land battle series of tournaments and also just tracking best of threes people played on our Discord. People got points, and then the points put you in tiers. Like the top 10% were considered Grey Seers, the next 10% were Chieftains. And I think it's 20, and then it's 30 and 30 for Storm Vermin, Clan Rats, and Skaven Slaves. This is the 5th and final tournament. It's the Grey Seers, top to top. Winner of this gets 100 schmackaroonies. Our contestants are seated in order of their rank. So Raced was the number 1 on points. He is the favorite to win this tournament. He starts off in a semifinal. Meanwhile, we have Zep, Llama 13K, WWD, Matthew B969, Renliss, and John FB. These were played offline, partially because some of these people were in different time zones, partially because our schedules got conflicted. I went to Seattle and I climbed a mountain, but I was not around on the weekend we wanted to play this. Thirdly, we wanted to get this done before Immortal Empires releases. And fourth, I know John FB at least plays late at night, USA time, so it was nice for him to be able to play offline. It's been a bit delayed. We haven't been in a huge rush because it's no secret land battles are not the most interesting thing right now in the current state of Warhammer 3. The factions are just not particularly built for it, as we've discussed ad nauseum. So we're very excited for Mortal Empires to come out and spice things up a bit. But we will uphold our commitments. We will finish what we started. We'll finish the Vermin League. I'm here for 10 minutes, then I have to go back to work. Hi, Copes. Bye, Copes. I had a serious question for you in DM. I won't open that on stream because you are Cyrus and you are a silly. Probably about 7, Cyrus. Probably about 7. Okay, first up we saw was Zep. So where was Zep? Llama. What? Where are all the game 3s? What happened here? Anything with a 3 just is not here? Hang on. Replays, game 3. Here I see all the 3s. Why aren't the 3s in my actual game? That's weird. It's very strange. Alright. Who was it? Llama and Zep? Lame. Lame. Where are all my game 3s? Oh, I should also probably get a blocker up so you don't see the builds ahead of time. or whatever. There's no way there's a weird coding with 3, is there? Warhammer 3, it's like Valve's thing with 3s where they can't make a Team Fortress 3 or Left 4 Dead 3 or whatever. Warhammer 3, if your replay has a 3 in it, it just like bugs out. I don't know. It'd be weird to watch land battles a couple of factions after IE Dom for 4 days straight. Different version of the games, they're probably all corrupted. I went back to the old version. Good, sir. All right. We have let people gather as much as they're going to. Where is that thing? There it is. Blockade. Llama and Zep. Replays. You're gonna see a lot of Cathay today, I bet. It's Ogres versus Cathay. I believe Llama is on the Ogres, and I believe Zep is on Cathay. I believe. Imagine seeing more variety in Game 3 with only 7 factions instead of IE, where we saw about 4 factions out of 22. You might. The land battles pre-IE are nothing to be super proud of. Okay. Ogres into Cathay used to be double Stonehorn, just run over them. Cathay wasn't that good at that. Then Stonehorns took some debuffs, and people learned that Iron Hail Gunners are actually really, really good in this matchup. So between those two things, it really hurt the ability of Stonehorns to do what they need to do. Also, the Righteous Lances of Wage In were added, which is, you know, armor-piercing flying cav, which helps, to be sure. So we do have double Stonehorns, kind of a, like I said, we haven't seen as much recently, but it's here for now. Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw, looks like he just has Troll Guts to heal up his big single entities, makes sense. Ogre Bowls, 1 Mournfang Cav with great weapons, interesting. Cathay is going to have a plethora of anti-large cheap infantry, so Mournfang could struggle to get their value out. 2 Sabertusk packs, 2 Noblar Scrap Launchers currently sitting behind the trees, so the cannon's more direct line of fire has a harder time hitting them. We do have 2 Noblar Trappers in the back. It does appear the Righteous Lances of Wage In are going to land. Now, if the Mournfang Cav could come back here, they would get an excellent side charge and do a ton of damage. We'll see if they opt to take that. Meanwhile, Dragonbladed Shogun and Lord of Yin is just designed to attack the Sabertusk back. So, stuff's happening. But, for Cathay, Jade Lancers, Yin Lord with, it looks like the Summon, and Missile Mirror. Ooh, but she got caught on the ground a little bit. Hunters are going to poke her. And throw spears at her even when she gets off the ground. So this could be a decent amount of damage. Ancestral Summon is blown, but Ogres are quite good at avoiding this. The Noblar Scrap Launchers, if they're told to, can just leave, and then that summon will be left in the dirt. For rest of Cathay, it looks like we have double cannon, quadruple Iron Hail Gunner, and then a bunch of Jade Warriors and Peasant Long Spearmen, so this build is quite ready for the Stonehorns. I would say that the Ogres are going to be in a bit of trouble. I have not watched these replays. I barely even know who wins. I know a couple things, because people had to send me replays, but I never watched any of them. If there were rule breaks, the players were supposed to deal with it before I ever got my hands on it, so it is what it is. Only Chaos and Vampires everywhere? Yeah. Turn had a different stream today where there's more faction diversity, but I didn't really watch it. Coops was one of the people telling me, but people told me there was a random pick? Blind pick? Or not blind pick, but like a wheel picked for you or something. So then you got to see more factions, which is nice. Alright. Jade Lancers have taken a lot of punishments, so have the Righteous Lances. They have not had a good time. And then Ancestral Warrior Summon is still here. I think it's still the first one from before. Meanwhile, Mournfang Cav about half HP, now getting healed up at Troll Guts, and we do have Double Hunter and a Noblar, 2 Noblar Scrap Launchers are all totally fine. Noblar Trappers in the back did sneak in and get a cannon, though this other one is about to get run down by Jade Lancers. Rest in peace, my little Noblar friends. Rest in peace. Ogre's up a bit. I forgot in replays you can't see the damage value stuff on the left. Or in the top left you could normally see damage value accrued so far. That's kind of silly. Noblars are still committing to try and kill this cannon, even with Peasant Longspearmen and Cavalry running them down and cannons moving away. That is going to be 900 gold thrown away. I have a hard time seeing Noblar Trappers being worth it in most matches, because they're pretty bad as far as archers go, and they are 450 gold, which is nothing to scoff at. That's like almost a Dwarf Ranger. It's an Empire Crossbowman. I don't know. Shugi Lord's low. There's no healing for her, so she's going to have to be a little bit more careful with the engagement she picks. And like I said, the hunters with their spear throws can do a lot of deceptive damage. It's hard to dodge because it's not super obvious when they're throwing the spears. They're just these tiny little gray projectiles. They're not messing around. Oof. Trees won't protect you from that big guy. It's more relaxed and Mimi. Apparently Pit, Gorse, Slanesh, Marauders all getting wind-up time increased. Cost decrease. So even Dom won't be as cancer by the time ID comes out. Hopefully. Bye, Coops. Do have a sneaky doggo pack, currently lowered in speed by 45%, but they are trying to get into this Grand Cannon. Just get around the Peasant Long Spears, but it actually looks like they'll just opt out of this fight entirely until the Storm of Shadows wears off. No reason to throw them away. Trading-wise, Cathay is actually getting pretty pressured, which is why they're now pushing out Iron Hail Gunners getting into range of the Hunters. Even in the trees, a couple of the shots getting through. Almost knocked over my T. Don't do that. Super salty about Game 2 of the games you played when you get to them. I'll definitely let you know. What up? Mr. Casual, how you doing? How you doing? Ogres are now going to charge out of the trees straight into Jade Warriors. They will not enjoy that, but it looks like they're getting force pathed on the Iron Hail Gunners, which is a good call. If they get back there, they'll butcher them super quickly. Jade Warriors are not the fastest creatures on the planet, and will have a hard time keeping up with this charge. Very nicely played by the Ogres so far. Saber Tusks do get caught by cavalry and long spears in the background. They will be taken off the field. Yeah, I think Ogres have got this, especially now that they've corrupted the Iron Hail backline. The Iron Hails are all pretty much going to die, and then it's just a couple Jade Warriors and Spears, which, while effective, could be kited out effectively with Hunters. Scrap Launchers still have a good amount of ammo. Though, we might lose one of the Scrap Launchers to the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin here. Eek. I want to have the other one turn and fire at that big cluster. Or something. The persistent Noblar Trappers are just chilling in the background as Jade Lancers decide to leave them alone. How did that cannon crew get back online? There were so few people. Okay, whatever. I guess it's just the unkillable Immortal Cannon crew. Dragon-Botted Shugi Lord is going to try to take a fight with Slaughtermaster with also her second summon of the Ancestral Warriors, but Slaughtermasters aren't great melee combatants. They're not terrible. He might be able to finish her off, we'll see, especially if she's overcasting every other second. Ooh, actually that was him overcasting. Yeah, he might be mega fucked. Oh no. Balance power is turning against the Ogres after such a good fight. Rip in peace, my little ogre friends. Ha! The blood... okay. That's funny. Anyway, Ogre Bulls, Mornfang Cav, all still fighting in these Jade Warriors. That's going to be a bad trade for them, but they're just desperately trying to kill the Shugi Lord of Yin while she's on the ground. It looks like they will succeed. They're going to take a lot of damage for it, but they will succeed. Ogre's chasing off this cannon crew. Cathay is up on the balance of power now. It does include an Ancestral Summon somewhere. Doesn't it? Wait, where'd they go? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just that many natural Jade Warriors with halberds, which is concerning in its own right. Infinitely rampaging Saber Tusk packs are going to be useless for the rest of the game. Congratulations, lads, you did it. Butcher. Ooh, nice Butcher cast on the Slaughtermaster to get him to rally, and now we can cast Troll Guts on stuff, but you can't cast Troll Guts on himself while he's running, obviously. But the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin are back! And they're going to beat his ass. Ogres suddenly ahead on the balance of power. I tend to agree. Lots of healing has gone to their Stonehorns, who are chain routing off things as we speak. Slaughtermaster's going to die, though. It's a big problem. At least I nerfs the ones I mentioned without wrecking campaigns. It's like whatever if it makes Dom people happier. Haven't seen Kugat since he is available. Oh. What? Why is your stream black? Sorry. Can you people not see something? Cyrus just sent me a message of a black screen and now I'm confused. Because on my left monitor, I have the stream up and I can see stuff happening. But just making sure you guys can see things. Alright, Nobler Scrap Launcher getting rid of Peasant Long Spearman. Slaughtermaster barely hanging in there. Don't know how he beat off the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin, but he did manage to keep himself alive. Shugi Lord's actually going to finish off that Scrap Launcher just fine. Where's the second one? Is it dead? It does appear to be dead, unless I'm just missing it, which is also possible. One Stonehorn is reaching its heal cap. The other Stonehorn, I don't see it yet, and has about half its health bar left to go. Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw is going to rout, but right after he casts Troll Guts on himself. So it'll be annoying to finish off, but what here can really do anything? I don't know. Jade Warriors are alright, but Stonehorn charge animations are so good they could cycle charge the Jade Warriors to death. I'm gonna fast forward this mission. Chasing things, chasing things. Stonehorn is fighting a bunch of super wounded Cathay troops. Gonna terror right off a bunch of them. Boop. Righteous Lances, and this lady better not land. Ooh, that could be a pretty big mistake. If he turns and gets one attack off on her, she's gonna break again. She already broke before. That'll bring her closer to shattering. Stonehorn charge! Oh, it was limp. Stonehorns are really good at charging infantry, but if they charge large entities in really any capacity, they just kind of... Yeah. Alright, Slaughtermaster's back, somehow. Really should have prioritized chasing him off. And it does look like the Cathay player will just surrender. Call it quits. Somebody won. The replays don't tell me the name, so I'll have to figure it out in a second. Scrap launchers really didn't get that much value. I also struggled to get them to get value, but some people swear by them. The double Stonehorns did very well. Nobler Trappers honestly did fine, taking out one of the cannons for a long while. Delaying the engagement in the trees was the main part. Jade Warriors did okay. Iron Hails got mostly destroyed, but one of them got to shoot for a while and he got 1.1k value. Peasant Long Spears mostly paid for themselves. Cannons did fine. Jade Lancers did fine. Throw the blocker up. Okay. Sorry, I was reading a message. That was that. Okay, so Llama was the ogres. So Llama 13k goes up 1. Boop. Game 2. Oh. No Cathay. Okay. Okay, Llama. Don't take Cathay then. It's Kislev and Tzeentch. Llama, if your board is right. Yeah. Looks like... Who dares message me? Shit. Things are happening. That's right. There's no build, there's no setup phase because it's a replay. Alright, for Tzeentch and Zep, we have an Exalted Lord change of Tzeentch with Pink Fire, Blue Fire, and the Summon. Forsaken front line, looks like about 5 of them. Pink Horror backline, no Spawn, which I have seen become increasingly popular in the Tzeentch ranks. Spawn can be very expensive, and especially against shooty-shoot factions, a little vulnerable, even when the shooty-shoots can get spears, like Kislev can. Another thing we haven't seen in a long time is double heavy war sled from Kislev. These are some old builds. Zarina Katerin on horseback with Crystal Sanctuary as her only spell. Frostfang is a bound item, it's not a spell, so no Heart of Winter. Winged Lancers, Kossars, Kossar Spears, Kossars, Kossar Spears, Kossars, Armored Kossar frontline. More Winged Lancers. Oh, there we are. In the back we have a Patriarch with his healing, and the Oath Brothers of Tor. Very interesting Kislev build. Feels like one from another era. Forsaken are going to plow in. Without their Spawn compatriots Armor Sundering, though, they will lose in melee pretty hard to these Armored Kossars. And you can see already the range is taking its toll on them. They've they're down to about a third health apiece, and they just hit the front line. Though now all the horrors are in range, they can start shooting. Without any mass, though, no spawn, no Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, none of that stuff, the heavy war sleds are just going to have a field day. There's literally nothing to stop them. They can just run around. Crystal Fire Sanctuary upgraded, trying to give everybody in this area 60% damages, but it looks like it really only hit this Kossar and the Lady of the Lake, the Frozen Lake, Katarine. Both brothers of Tor piling in along with the Patriarch. War sleds are still trying to disrupt as many pink and blue horrors as possible, and that is looking like it's going well. They're not doing that much damage because of barriers, but they are stopping them from shooting. You see a lack of fireworks going off, and that is the main point. While no one is shooting back, Kislev has routed off all of the Forsaken, except for the one in the very far back, and they are now moving on to the horrors already. Tzeentch is really not getting a lot done, which is quite unfortunate for him, and Katarine is going to dodge the Tzeentch army ability, which is pretty much Doombolt the Blue Bolt. Good start so far. Don't know what that is. Oh, it's the Orth Brothers of Tor thing. Okay. Bounce power is about equal, so the Kislev favored. I'd say it's very Kislev favored as far as the game is going, because your front line's dead, your back line's all half HP and corrupted, and Kislev's back line is mostly uncontested. You have a Fury Summon that's taking out a Kossar with Spear, but you still have 3 archers, front line left, Tor, full health Cav. I don't know. Kislev just has a lot more presence in the field. Katarine's low HP is working against Kislev, but they're a faction that doesn't give a shit about that. So the balance of power favoring how low on HP she is just kind of bullshit. Doesn't matter. You can see Tzeentch is starting to fall behind as units are crumbling, disintegrating away, summons are going away. It'll just keep getting worse for them, I imagine. Is that a Frostfang? Yup. Ouch. Little poke for Frostfang. Balance power's looking real doomed. What can the exalted Lord of Change do? Blue fire! The Crystal Sanctuary, with its 60% damage resistance, does make it rather hard to damage the Tsarina. Archer's still firing. I love how Kislev just hasn't given a single shit about the Lord of Change. They haven't even broken his shield. That's how little they care. They're just going to kill the rest of the army. And that is going quite well. They're down to about a third of the Tzeentch units are left. Big mass over there about to break and or crumble. On this side, a bunch of things crumbling as well. I think that is it. I don't really see Tzeentch's way back in this game. Trying to snipe out Katarine, but a war sled gets in the way and knocks down the Lord of Change. That is great. Renliss, you're getting salted just thinking about the games you played? Well, we will get there, sir. We will get there. Right now it is looking like Llama is probably going to take the day and move up to fight Raced in the semifinals. Unless the Exalted Lord of Change is more broken than anyone could have possibly imagined, but I do not think that is the case. Fast forward a little bit. Does finish sniping out Katarine. She's going to run away. But it's too little. It is too late. Both brothers got okay value. Heavy War Sleds got okay value. Winged Lancers didn't get great value, but they did okay. Archers did well. Patriarch did fine. Huh. I guess it's a pretty low army value overall. Damn you, Tzeentch, with your weird units. Tzeentch Caster did fine. One Forsaken did fine. The rest got trashed on. All the pink horrors got trashed on, and all but one of the blues got trashed on. It was just that was a curveball Kislev build. Tzeentch was not ready for that. Okay, get rid of those. Bring you to the left screen. Boop. Boop. Llama's up. 1, 2. Let's go fight Raced. Next, we have WWD versus Matthew, B969. I haven't gotten to cast a lot of WWD games. Seems like a neat individual. Oh, Lord. Okay, I heard about this series. I heard about it. Let's figure out who's left and who is right. I think it's Matt. B969 and WWD. This series is cursed. We have a Kislev mirror. Kislev mirror. Now, while I say it's cursed, mirrors in general are cursed. They're not a lot of people's favorites, but the Kislev mirror is actually kind of interesting because there's multiple ways you can go for it. Looks like we have a bit of a Vanguard play that gets spotted out. Triple Winged Lancers from green are all going to go hit the Kossovite Dervishes of red. I think those are WWD's Dervishes that are mega fucked. We have an Ice Witch of Ice, I believe, for Matthew, but if he's here, he can correct me. Patriarch, Ice Witch of Ice with Heart of Winter. We do have the Oath Brothers of Tor, 3 Winged Lancers, 2 Streltsy, 2 Armored Kossars, 3 Armored Kossars, 1 Zargard, and 1 Light War Sled. Again, another relic from an ancient past I haven't seen. You love Skaven so much? I do too, buddy, and they're coming soon. Soon. Next week, in fact. On the other side, for I believe WWD, we have Light War Sleds again? What the fuck is happening? Where did Light War Sleds come from? I thought these died. 2 Kossovite Dervishes, though one is already dead behind us. Streltsy. Wow, 5 Streltsy. 2 Zargard with great weapons. A bunch of Kossars with spears, armored Kossars, and more Kossars with spears, led by an Ice Witch of Tempest with Hailstorm, Gust of True Flight, and Guardian's Call. Very different ideas on what they want to do here. Heavy cav. 4 cav units, including a support unit for them. And then limited infantry versus just pure infantry spam with a few light cav on the flanks. While the armies totter up, it is a replay, so I'm going to hit triple fast forward while we get this shit going. Hailstorm is nicely dodged. A little bit of pew-pew from the sleds. Kossovite Dervishes are going to run out. Try and punish the light war sleds, but despite the name, they actually are rather tanky. And, of course, the Dervishes are way outclassed as far as cavalry goes from the Oath Brothers and the Winged Lancers. Though, while they are holding up, the Oath Brothers and the Winged Lancers, Armored Kossars are getting sidecharged by Light War Sleds. Now, Light War Sleds were cut from the meta for a reason, and you can maybe see why it's happening now. They do get torn apart by the Streltsy of, I believe, Matthew. And their charge didn't get that much done, honestly. They lost a lot of mass, they lost a lot of their charge bonus, which is why Heavy War Sleds became a little bit more prevalent. We've lost 2 Dervishes for the red side. We've lost a Light War Sled, essentially. And on the other side, not too much has been lost from the greens. The greens are feeling good right now. But we are at last within the range of the gun line, the massive gun line of the red team. It is clumping up on itself a little bit, which is a problem. These Armored Kossars do have to move up and away from the Streltsy, clear their lines of fire so they can shoot. There was a brief moment in the patch where those guys could have just shot through each other, but those dark times are behind us. You do need to once again separate your ranged units so they can shoot through each other. Who is messaging me? No. Okay. I always get paranoid that Discord messages sent to me during a stream or about the stream and that like, yo, did you know you're muted or something? Hailstorm does actually pretty good damage on the Streltsy for how cheap of a spell it is, and a countered Heart of Winter overcasted is going to just destroy these Zargard with great weapons and armored Kossars. That is going to be a big loss for the red team. Meanwhile, green is piling in with the flank overload, trying to use cav and war sleds and just everything they can to get through this side. Get into the back line. Some of the armored Kossars are forgotten a little bit, some of the Streltsy a little too far behind as well, but it's really not about them. It's mostly about these cavalry. Bounce power is just about even. Just about. Hard to tell who it favors up there. And I would tend to agree. The cav, as you can see, when they actually do get shot by these Streltsy, by this little snow leopard, they take a lot of damage. They're expensive units. So if they do get gooned out, that is mega bad. Another good Hailstorm. Really putting that spell to good use. Damn, very nice. One of Streltsy's routing, the other one is about half HP already for the greens. Cav have gotten to the back line. Kislev's entire strength, though, is having kind of hybrid units, so it's not like these Streltsy are helpless to this assault, and they will fight back to the best of their abilities. Left flank of the Red Army has secured itself. It could turn and fire on the backside, really try to take out some of these cavalry and save their other units, which they should probably do, but it looks like instead they are trying to reform up. Now green is looking a little bit better with a whole surround. Like this Streltsy rallied, and sure he's injured, but there's a lot of models there. It's 58 models. It's looking rough for WWD. Another good Hailstorm trying to hit the Armored Kossars, though it does look like Matthew's on top of it. Dodges away. Takes still some pretty good poke. It's a fast cast. It's hard to fully dodge. But dodges some of it, he do. Looks like we're going to have triple Streltsy routing in the backfield. And if this back pocket breaks, then I do think red is a little bit doomed. We'll go down to just these 4 units. Without being spread out, the cavalry will just mob over you, and then if you can't shoot, you will lose. It was looking alright when the cav was focused on the back line, and maybe this left flank could have turned into fire, but there just apparently wasn't enough troops there. There wasn't enough to be done. It's not a foregone conclusion. Red still has a pretty even balance of power, and the Oath Brothers are like dead. Wing Lancers are like dead over there, but I see these 2 half-health units. Ooh, Light Warslide taking a lot, actually. Could this be a win? I think a Heart of Winter. If there's a Heart of Winter in the tank for right, like now, if it hits like 2 or 3 units, then red is screwed. Otherwise, they might actually just be able to grind this out, because the Patriarch and the Ice Witch are actually horrific in just grinding through melee troops. But there's the Heart of Winter. It is upgraded. It does catch 2 troops. They're going to get out of it before it fully ramps up, but it did a significant amount of damage. You can see the balance of power turn against red in that moment. That might be it. That might be it. The heroic Cossars of Spear is getting a gust of Truth Light to fire at the back of these armored Cossars. That's just funny. That's just funny in every capacity. Green is chasing off people. Ooh, Ice Witch of Ice currently stuck in some Zargard with great weapons, getting the shit kicked out of her, and the Oath Brothers of Tor have to throw their bodies on the line to try and save her. They don't actually have an attack order, so they just walk up and then stop, and they're like, my lady, are you okay? We want to make sure you are okay. They'll take her place. The Patriarch's going to run up, maybe cast some healing or something for the Oath Brothers, but yeah, there it is. Ice Witch was out of the range of the healing, which is a little unfortunate, but still. With that, red's about out of gas. Half health caster, half health Zargard versus all this. That's a no for me. Quick little fast forward as things are chased down, run apart, try to avoid the Zargard with great weapons. Casters get in a caster fight, but there are Oath Brothers. There's a Patriarch here, and they will make it a very unfair fight. Bounce power shifts against them. It's going to be army losses in a second. Fire Blood will pop. It did. It is over. Kislev won. Very descriptive. And cavalry prevails over infantry. Although barely. Oath Brothers didn't have a lot to fight, unfortunately for them, so they didn't get a lot of value. Light War Sleds did fine for Matthew. His cavalry did really well. I think these guys only cost 800. 800 or 850. And they all like paid for themselves and more. Light War Sleds on the other side got caught out, shot by Streltsy. Tempest Lady got good value compared to the Ice Lady. Not bad, getting a Hailstorm. I wish they had better spells. Like that the Biting Wind, the wind spell didn't suck ass. That would be pretty good. Blizzard is but it's too expensive. Alright, for these Streltsy, really good value on WWD's Streltsy. Really nice. Armored Cossars just held. They held the front line. Archers did okay, and their cav got big dicked on. Okay. Now why the series is cursed is what do we have? I don't know, you tell me. It's Game 2 mirror match, baby! Let's go. Cathay. Did you delete my shameful replays like we agreed? Yes, Zep. Yes. No one will ever see your shame. Oh, my tea is of the perfect drinkable temperature. It's still warm, and it like warms your throat as you drink it, but it's not so hot that it burns you. Oh. Mm. Delicious. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Zep, if you're out there, sir, still, and if you haven't left us yet, we have till next week to get that bot up and running. Let me know if there's anything you need me to do. I will help in whatever limited programming capacity I can offer, but we gotta have it up and ready for IE, dude. I'm ready. I'm ready to stream some fucking Vermin League, some grinding, play some land battles with the lads. Alright. For the mirror, WWD has Jade Lancers, no cannons. Oof. Cannons are usually pretty common in this matchup. That are mass archers. So double Jade Lancers, double War Compass, one of which is ridden by an Astromancer who has no spells besides... Oh, actually Harmonic Convergence. Interesting spell to take. Alchemist with no spells at all, just trying to increase that Harmony of the Winds. Dragonblooded Shugen and Lord of Yin with Storm of Shadows. Weird. Storm of Shadows, Talons of Night, and Cloak of Jet. Very strange. No Ancestral Warrior Summon. Interesting. On the other side, not the other side. For their infantry, just a bunch of Jade Warriors, and for their archers, is that quadruple Celestial Dragon Crossmen? Oh my god, it's 4 Celestial Dragon Crossmen. On the green side, we barely have time to say, as it already starts, we have Jade Lancers popping out of the woods to surprise attack the red Jade Lancers. Dragonblooded Shugi Lord of Yin of their own with the same 3 spells, and cannon support means these Jade Lancers are going to be big dead. Big dead. And there is a predictive spell trying to hit them, but it looks like they will dodge it. Other than that, there's some peasant horsemen to try and help chase things off. For the rest of the green army, Jade Lancers kept in reserve, triple cannons, which we've been seeing do work this entire time, Jade Warrior Crossmen, a front line of Jade Warriors, a back line of peasant longspearmen. The quadruple Celestial Dragon Crossman is ballsy. It's very ballsy, because Talons of Night exists, so one of those dropped in any one of these units is going to delete them. Plus, triple cannons, it's quite common in this matchup, and you've seen them just take a shellacking as they've walked up. It's silly. Alright. The Yin Lords are going to fight each other, but a sneaky little tactic by WWD, taking the Harmonic Convergence to make sure his Yin Lord will win that fight, and she is whooping ass. And her lady's got to get the hell out of here. Quick free Comet Summon is yet again dodged, but does stop the Jade Warrior Crossman from shooting, rather than just dodging around. Where's the green cav? It's just lurking, menacingly, waiting for the archers to get separated. These are Celestial Dragon Crossmen, so Peasant Horsemen will do almost -4 damage to them, but still stops them from shooting for a bit. There's the Talons of Night we talked about. It is overcasted yet again, so that is 1 dead Celestial Dragon Crossman. A worrying thing for the green side is that for the most part, they got up to where they want to be and shooting uncontested. Like, the Celestial Dragon Crossmen are firing now, and they'll trade really well into any other type of Crossman. But huge play! Oh my god! Dragonblooded Shugi Lord of Yin, even with Harmonic Convergence on, doesn't kill the other Lord fast enough, and now has its back to 2 groups of archers and 3 cannons. It just gets obliterated! Instantly shattered, losing your Lord and caster. That is rough. Peasant Horsemen have dove in onto the Celestial Dragons, but it's really not going to do that much damage, and a rear charge here from the Jade Lancers, plus a frontal charge from Jade Lancers, should mean those Peasant Horsemen will die rather quickly. Should. That's the key word. The red Celestial Dragon Crossmen have to push up somehow, some way, and get into range of the Grand Cannons. I really like this play from Green Cathay, is abandoning your tight box formation, getting some separation between your cannons in the front line. Once you realize that you have better cavalry and you can secure the flanks, move your front line up so the crossmen have to walk past your front line to get to the cannons. That's really nice. That's really nice. Deploying in a box is fine, but once you realize you have the flank advantage, you should create space between you and artillery if they're not under threat, which is really good. Now we have Jade Lancers on top of the Celestial Dragons, 3 active cannons at this point in the game. Peasant Horsemen did get murdered. It looks like both of them were killed outright. Jade Lancer's still fighting the back, but when one team has a Lord, the other team doesn't, and its artillery is unhindered, I would imagine they're going to win. And a nasty Talons of Night. Gonna finish it off here. I do think that is the GG. It's just too much. It's just too much. Astromancer is also pushed off, cannon still firing at him, and a very, very nice execution in the Cathay Mirror. I like the ideas of both players. Both players had good plays, but it looks like Matthew just had that really sick Lord Snipe. That worked out, and a couple good cavalry plays. I like that ambush at the start. Matthew's been a big proponent in Discord. He talks a lot about not wanting maps that are just flat. Like, he asked me not to, well, he asked if I put MP Crossroads, which is literally just a flat square, in the map pool for Vermin League, and I said no, and he said good, and he seems to really like terrain. Now, there's a difference between terrain, like a map with terrain isn't a bad map. What makes a map a bad map is terrain in such a factor that it makes your infantry perform stupid. Like, archers, fire, so we can't. Why? There's a bump. You can see over the bump. Yeah, but it's like a bump. You know? Something that takes people out of the realism. And also unfair maps where it's like one side starts on a hill, or one side in their deployment zone has a hill with grass and the other side has flat ground. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to deploy in the hill with grass and you can get fucked. So you try to find fair maps, but we aren't just taking maps that don't have any terrain. That would be dumb. There's a bunch of sick new Bretonnian maps, by the way. I'm really excited for them. There's some of them that are larger, but there's like 2 or 3 that I put in that are like roughly the size of Troll Country, and they have a bunch of trees here and there, but they're spaced out enough. I think it's going to make some cool melee battle maps. I'm excited about that. That will not be good maps for my Skaven, but still, I like good maps. Sorry, got distracted. 2,100 value for Matthew's Lord. All of his cannons paid for themselves and a little bit more. Jade Lancers didn't. Jade Warriors got destroyed. Actually, not destroyed. They're still pretty healthy, so they just stood around. That's much more accurate. Renliss, you'll have to tell us what you're salty about after it happens. Celestial Dragon Crossmen really struggled. They just got bullied super hard. I do like them in this matchup. Maybe cut 2 of them and get like 4 Jade Crossmen just to diversify your forces a little bit, but I like the idea behind it. It was just a really nice cavalry ambush that took out half of his mobility in the very start of the game, and then triple cannons doing great work. So I think that's less of a bad build from WWD. I think it's a fine build. I think Matthew just played really well. Okay. Matthew, 2-0. Renliss and John F.B., 2 friends of the channel, 2 great guys. Love both of them to death. But now, one of them must die. Oh, human boy, you're so cringe and stupid. I know, buddy. I know I'm cringe and stupid. Alrighty. Put Renliss on the left. Renliss versus John FB. John FB is kind of a weird cookie, because he is the closest thing you could call to a Nurgle one-trick. Dude always takes Nurgle, and he actually plays him really well. Whenever we scrap late at night just to have some fun or something, he's always taking Nurgle. Alright. John FB is indeed on Nurgle versus Renliss's Cathay. There's a way I like to play this matchup. I don't really take any cannons or anything. I just take a bucket ton of archers, peasant longspearmen, a couple Jade Warriors, and then walk at you and shoot Nurgle. John, he's got... Ooh, actually, we've played this matchup a lot. This is one of his favorite ones to play against me. He has 4 Nurglings, 4 Forsaken, 2 Furies. Ah, he cut the Toads. Good. 3 Furies. Okay. Last time we played, he had Plague Toads, and they're worthless. They're just worthless. He has the Cultist. He's doing what I also like, just taking Warrior Bane and Icon of Eternal Virulence. He doesn't take the summon because it's hard to get the summon to start counting down. Kugath, Plaguefather has to carry this whole fight. He does have Stream of Corruption, Fleshy Abundance, Nurgling Tide, Plaguefather's Oration. All those are pretty good. A Soul Grinder Nurgle. I don't love it, but Nurgle players do. It's fine in this matchup. Ooh, some good hits there. Am I tripping, or Skaven sniper bullets look different? When the Skaven shoot stuff, yeah, it looks different. It's much more muted, which I like. It doesn't look as silly anymore, which is fine. Who messaged me a bunch? Alright. You let me know when it's over? Got it. For Cathay and Renliss's build, Dragonboat Ashugi Lord of Yang. I love Lord of Yang, but it's not getting a lot of love in today's tournament. Jade Shield, Might of Heaven and Earth, and the Dragon Breath spell. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin. We have 1 cannon, quadruple Iron Hail Gunner, a bunch of spears, a bunch of Jade Warriors. Astromancer on foot with just his items, but no spells. It's a Peasant Horseman. Where are the archers, Renliss? Where are the archers? What is this? You can't fight Nurgle without archers. This is heresy. This is heresy. A shame, even. No archers. None. 0. What are these Iron Hail bitches gonna do? What are they gonna do? Shoot Kugath? Not with that short range, they're not. He's gonna go into melee with them and kill him. No archers. What is this bullshit? What up, Jabba the Hutt? I'm salty about all the salt. Hell yeah. Furies are diving into their last suicide attempt, but they are going to take these Iron Hail Gunners with them. The Righteous Lances of Wei Jin are going to get a nasty rear charge. Let me see the health bar. Ah! Daddy Nurgle, why? We've been abandoned! Oh, God! Alright, Furies are mega dead. In the back line here, these Furies are also crumbling away a little bit. They're just trying to stop these Iron Hail Gunners. A little over-ambitious dive in from John FB, but archers aren't needed, smile. False! I love archers. I love archers in this matchup. I would be interested in Discord DMs to hear your thoughts on why the Iron Hail Gunners. I am legitimately confused by that a little bit. If you can keep it succinct, you can type it in the thing, but if it's going to be like 50 paragraphs in the YouTube chat, then maybe don't type it here. But I am curious, memes aside, about the 4 Iron Hail Gunners. I don't really believe in them, but I am open to be wrong. So all the Furies are dead. That's 1,500 gold value, plus a little bit to Cathay for that Gambit. Meanwhile, though, the Soul Grinder and Kugath have been firing. Soul Grinder is just about out of ammo, and how much has he gotten? About 900 value, which is better than he usually does, but alright. Good for him. Nurgling's getting killed by all these people, and I'm worried Nurgle is spoon-feeding in a little bit too much. Just like one thing at a time. We're losing 2 Nurglings roughly for free. Kugath is moving in now. They're doing the real dwarf cosplay, all gunpowder and turtling. I don't believe in Iron Hails outside of the Ogre matchup. Yeah. Me either, buddy. Soul Grinder piles in. Look at the blood effects. I don't know. I usually turn blood off. I think that's a bug, by the way. Before I get in trouble with CA for showing blood, I don't know if I'm allowed to show that or not. I turned all the shit off. Alright, so if the blood is still in here, that's like a bug and there's nothing I can do about that. Because I went back to vanilla game, which is how these replays are even working. So, that's not on me. These weird blood spurts that are happening. I mean, it's clearly the blood DLC, but I turned it off, so I don't know what you want from me. Anyway. I think I usually turn the blood DLCs off in all the Warhammer games. Like, I did all of Warhammer 2 without blood, because I just think it looks silly rather than epic. Like, look at that big... I don't know. Not a fan, me personally. Anyway. Soul Grinder's taking a big beating. Righteous Lance of Wei Jin diving onto Kugath, but that is just not going to work. He has 79 melee defense. They're getting torn apart by his Mortis Engine effect. Speaking of torn apart, though, oh my god, that fucking Soul Grinder. Nurgle is super far behind on the balance of power. Oh boy. Oh boy. I didn't look up there. He's not doing so good. Kugath pushes out of the Righteous Lances. It looks like they're trading about even health bar percentage-wise. Ooh, and now not so much, but for a while there it was going okay. Oh god. That balance of power is not looking good for Nurgle at all, and I have to say I tend to agree. We have 1 healthy Forsaken, 1 healthy Nurgling, a healthy Cultist, a Soul Grinder that's almost dead, a healthy Forsaken, and Kugath, and that's like it. That's a summon, so no one gives a shit about them. Really nice Steam of Corruption from Kugath there. Takes out 2 Peasant Longspearmen. Ooh. Ooh. Dragon-Blooded Shugi Lord lands next to Kugath, starts trying to fight him, but he is gonna bop her face. Bop her face, bop her face, bop her face, bop her face. Soul Grinder gets gunned down by Iron Hail Gunners, starts crumbling a little bit. Shugi Lord gets away from Kugath. It is looking a little over, ladies and gentlemen. It is looking a little over. Jade Warriors are ganging up on this poor little squad of Nurglings who are just doing their best. Forsaken, chasing around Iron Hails. Now, as far as shooting goes, we have cannons being routed off. Iron Hails being routed off. There's not really a lot of shooting. Ah, one healthy Iron Hail. Okay, all of Cathay has to rally around this Iron Hail gunner. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Because it can tear Kugath a new one. This is looking pretty wrapped up. I'm looking pretty wrapped up, gotta say. Kugath is trying to rally with his cultist. Dragonblooded Shugi Lord of Yang thinks that fighting a cultist will deal any damage. I have tried this so many times with the Dragonblooded Shugi Lords. They just can't hit the cultist. It's not a thing of melee defense versus melee attack. They just can't do it. Oh, Stream of Corruption! Solid hit. Doesn't quite finish off, but it is a solid hit on the last living Iron Hail gunner. 67 models still persist, so they could get a couple good volleys off, and I like this. You know Stream of Corruption's on cooldown. Just sit here and fire at Kugath real fast, because you know there is another Stream of Corruption coming for this Iron Hail gunner, so just go, 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 go. Get your value off before he shoots you, because you're the target. You know you're the target. And they are doing okay value. The last two volleys have missed somehow, for some reason. There's a little bit of a hill there, but still. Kugath's the size of a house. Just hit him. That was kind of cool. These guys aren't firing because firing is stupid, but like, I did like the go down the line. Here's the second Stream of Corruption that we all knew was coming, and there it is. Random stupid blood explosions for getting that. I don't know what, that's annoying. Since Skaven snipers don't have big laser bolts anymore, will that make them more sneaky? Oh yeah, for sure, especially Natibubos. The purple ones are gonna be super hard to see. Yeah. Like, not if you're staring at them and watching them fire, it won't be that hard to see, but, like, they're a stealth unit, so if you're not already looking at them, then they come out of stealth and start shooting you. I could imagine you miss it for a few volleys, which I think is fine. Astromancer gets dicked on. Quick little breath attack from the Shugi Lord. And this is the last bastion of Nurgle. He's quite behind on the balance of power. Kugath's not looking so hot, and he has been using a lot of Winds of Magic on Stream of Corruption. Here's where you get into the tricky part. Do you want Fleshy Abundance, which is very expensive? It's a great heal, don't get me wrong, but it is very expensive to heal up Kugath, or do you want 2 or 3 more Streams of Corruption to start taking care of all these infantry? It is a tough choice. Since the Iron Hails across the map are all mostly dealt with, I would focus on healing up Kugath, because personally I think his Mortis Engine could deal with all the melee infantry you need. But he does opt for another Stream of Corruption, routing off another Iron Hail gunner one more time. He has plenty of ammo, so at some point he could put guard mode on and just spam click onto this Iron Hail gunner with his range attack and go and squish it. And if he squishes it one time, it'll go away. Iron Hail gunner's ripping some shots into our boy. The Nurgling summon has disappeared. There's the guard mode. This is a replay. I promise I didn't just jinx it. And they're routing again. No range tools. Cathay's actually running out of steam here. The only thing they have going for them is that Kugath might be out of magic and can't heal himself. Maybe. Possibly. Righteous Lance is diving in. Another Jade Shield is getting cast onto them, I believe. Yes, it is. That is a good call. And the Shugi Lord is even going to land in. Really trying to surround Kugath, but he does have enough mana for a Fleshy Abundance. Oh my god! Watch for the balance of power. You're going to see it tick up visually as he heals. Oh, that is hilarious. Kugath's in here fighting. Jade Warriors are getting drained down by the Mortis Engine, otherwise they're surrounding. Another Nurgling summon comes out. The Cultist is in here fighting as well. And it looks like the Shugi Lord might be a little bit trapped. If Kugath can get like 1 or 2 melee attacks onto her, that could actually be very detrimental. Oh, I hate those blood effects. They're everywhere. Stop it. Go away. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin piling in. Congratulations, you. Another Jade Shield onto them. Kugath's healing cap is within sight, but there's actually plenty of it left to go. It looks like it's close, but it is like 5,000 health away, so that's not really that big of a deal. And at this point, looking around the map, I think, despite the fact the balance power is against them, I think Nurgle's got it. There's no shooting left, so these guys all have to pile in, and they'll just get Mortis Engine down. Now, he hasn't forgotten about these units, it's just piling all of them in at once means they'll all get Mortis Drained at the same time, and it's not like any more models are going to make contact with Kugath, so separating them out and going in one by one is the play here. He's playing the best game ever, guy. What up, JD Maddox? How you doing? I don't think I've seen you, so hello. We are finishing out a playoffs for a tournament season before Immortal Empires comes out. And then land battles get so much better. So much better. Bounce power's about even. I tend to agree. I think we can fast forward at this point as things pile into Kugoth. Things die to Kugoth. Things pile into Kugoth. Things die to Kugoth. And that is the end of that. And that is the end of that. Kugoth Plaguefather with the 1v a million. Alright. The 3 things you're salty about this game. You didn't bring a second cannon, which you think would have won the game. Yeah, probably, honestly. Why are cultists unhittable with anything? I don't know. Cultists are so unhittable, and it's not their melee defense. It's not their melee defense. Geese Howard sent me a video of a cultist versus Miao Ying, an exalted bloodthirster, and then I think like a regular bloodthirster. It's on the channel somewhere. It is on the channel. This video's already been made. But an exalted bloodthirster, Miao Ying, all 3, they 3v1 to cultists, and he killed all of them over the span of like 20 minutes because they just legitimately couldn't hit him. And that has nothing to do with stats. Like, it's something about his model is just broken. And then during the battle, not in the replay, he was literally teetering on army losses, but it just didn't happen. Yeah, he was teetering on army losses. What's the value on Kugoth? 6,200. 1,100 on that. Cultist is 800. Forsaken all... did mix. I was going to say all did poorly, but they did fine. Nurglings got killed. Furies got killed. This is why, like, Kugoth is mega busted, but Nurgle isn't the best faction. It's just because, like, none of their other units do anything. It's just Kugoth. For Renliss... Righteous Lances got really good value. Caster did fine. Cannon did great. Iron Hail Gunners, can you see which one didn't get insta-fucked and actually got to shoot at Kugoth? Jade Warriors were blockers. They don't get good value, but that's not their point. And Peasant Longspearmen did fine. So Nurgle gets a win. While I am sad to see Kugoth solo carry a game, I'm not sad to see Cathay lose, so mixed feelings. Alrighty, next we have Cathay. Again, you're gonna sense a theme. Cathay versus Ogres! And this time the Ogres are not going for the double Stonehorn. They are instead going for, it looks like Kite with 2 Lead Belchers. Oh, dude, I hate Lead Belchers in this matchup. I've tried to get Lead Belchers to work, but like, basic archers outtrade them so heavily because their range isn't that much longer than a Cathayan archer. And then cannons are just really good against ogres in general. So I find Lead Belchers to be disappointing. Because even if I micro the shit out of them, get them close to the Cathay lines, get them to fire, they just miss a bunch and don't do a ton. So we'll see what the Lead Belchers do, but I'm already not sure how they're going to do. Double Nobblar Scrap Launcher. Again, I can find them as necessary in this matchup, but I also tend to struggle to get their value back. A whole bunch of Nobblars, Ogre Bulls with dual weapons, spammed, Mournfang Cavalry with great weapons, and a couple Sabertusk packs. So it is Kite and then sweep up the remains. We have a Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw with Troll Guts and Bullgorgia. Huh. And now they get another really good Legendary Lord and proper units. Might be scary in land battles. Nurgle might be, but we'll see. I was talking to Bowmore a bit about it. From what I've seen in the... So... Here, all right, here's the thing. Here. In the early access I had, I was just testing it this morning because someone asked me to. Dwarf Hammerers in a 1v1 beat every form of Chosen, including Chosen with great weapons, except for the Chosen of Nurgle with great weapons, which the Chosen of Nurgle with great weapons are 1,600 and Hammerers are 1,100. So we'll see when land battles launch. We will see, but my thought is that Warriors of Chaos are going to be S tier, but not like game-breakingly S tier. And I know that's a weird conversation to have, but I legitimately don't think that they're going to be so game-breakingly broken that we have to ban them from being picked at all. I think they'll be okay. Now, I do think they'll be S tier. Don't get me wrong, but I think they'll be as S tier as like Beastmen were. Beastmen are beatable. Like, they're strong. If you had two AI fighting each other, yeah, Warriors of Chaos might be the best faction in the game, but I don't know. We'll see. But like, from what I've seen, I have been very excited for land battles. I have not been too worried. I do worry whether or not it'll be balanced at like the top tier level balance. But what I'm seeing looks fun to me, personally. And I could play it. I could play it against real people and find out it's shit. That could be a thing. But from what I'm seeing, it looks fun. I'm excited. Hammer has lost their crappy splash attacks. They're actually good now. I took the Light Belchers because I was expecting a different build from him. I'm fairly certain if I had just gone with triple artillery here, you may have won it, but who knows? Yeah. As for Cathay of John FB, we have 3 cannons. 4 Iron Hail Gunners to deal with the Stonehorns. Bunch of Jade Warriors with Halberds, Peasant Long Spearmen, 1 Jade Lancer, and is it a Yin Lord? It is a Yin Lord. We have a bit of kiting. It's Scrap Launchers trying to fire over the trees. Yeah, Scrap Launchers trying to fire over the trees. Cathay is firing through them, so less of the shots getting through, but a couple will. What up, Daniel? How you doing? My only concern is there's 4 versions of it that will be S tier and 1 version that will be A. Corn is weaker, I feel. Corn might actually be C tier, from what I've seen, Zep. I'm not allowed to show you anything, but I'm allowed to talk about it. Corn kinda still sucks ass. In land battles, he kinda still blows. Sorry, not sorry, he's still really fucking bad. Corn is not good. The rest, I don't know. We'll see. Alright. 1 Nobbler Scrap Launcher is heel capped and shattered. Another Nobbler Scrap Launcher is getting taken out. The Ogres are going to move in, it looks like. What is nice for the Lead Belchers is there are no archers to shoot them, and it looks like the cannons are more preoccupied taking out the Lead Belchers, so they can move up relatively uncontested. Now the problem is going to be what they do from there, but oh well. I feel Marauder spam to screen. Exalted Bloodletters may be decent. Maybe, but their lord choices are rough, and not having magic is so hard. It's so hard. NCA gave them... There's a video coming out about it soon, but CA made some questionable decisions with some of the lords. So Tzeentch... Here's a fun tidbit. Tzeentch has an item that is my new favorite thing since that army ability of Khorne's in campaign, that like you could get the technology to give Hounds Vanguard, but then Hounds already had Vanguard, so the tech was worth it. One of the Tzeentch heroes literally has an item it's that exact thing, and it's hilarious. It's an item that gives your entire army, regardless of distance from you, magic damage. And on the surface, you're like, dude, that's so fucking cool. And then you realize that's on the Tzeentch army, and literally, there is not a single unit that doesn't already have magic damage. It's awesome. It's hilarious. I love it. I love that shit. And some people are like, oh man, you just shit on this game. No, I love it. It makes me laugh. It makes me smile. It's my favorite thing. All right. So, the slow advance of the Ogres has come in. Lead Belchers got shot a whole bunch by cannons. They are shattering. This one got an Ancestral Warrior summoned on it, plus cannons shooting at it. So all the range for the Ogres is down. Sabertusk dove in a last desperate attempt to shut down some of what Cathay is doing. They did stop 1 Grand Cannon, but they're still 2 firing. They are running out of ammunition, but that won't matter too much at this point. The entire battlefield is littered with long spears and halberds and all this stuff, so I do think the Ogres are just going to run into their death. You can use that item for Warriors of Chaos? Maybe if that hero is available for Warriors of Chaos. I don't know, but it is very funny. It's very funny that it's on the Tzeentch roster. I told him I lost in load screen because I took the wrong build. OP in 2v2? It could be. It's just a funny item on the surface to see on Tzeentch's roster, because it can't use it on Tzeentch's roster. You know what I mean? Where it's not like, oh, if you take him on Warriors of Chaos, he has this fun item, but on the Tzeentch roster, they replaced it with something useful. It's like, no, on the Tzeentch roster, this is fucking trash. It's so funny. All right. Renliss is talking in the chat. Yeah, that is a pretty tough build to fight against with what he had brought. Triple cannons all did great. Once you closed in, the Iron Hail Gunners just teed off onto you. There were Peasant Long Spears and Jade Halberds just waiting for Ogres. Yeah, it's pretty GG. Lead Belchers didn't get any value. Scrap Launchers got messed up, and it is a tough go. John FB will be advancing. That's why I do think Ogres need a... I know their whole thing is that their army is all large. Like, I get it, that's their theme. But it is a very easy theme to prepare for. So, I don't know. I think the Ogres need some more small units, just so that clicking on any unit with anti-large isn't instantly winning a game. Raced and Llama 13k. So Raced, this is our first attempt. This is our first time seeing the #1 ranked player this whole time. I don't know which army he is. I think he is Cathay. I think. I don't know. We'll find out. I know who wins game 1. So whoever wins, I'll know who it's supposed to be. We had Nurgle versus Cathay again. We saw Nurgle win this earlier. Can he go for 2? But everywhere I go against... Everyone I go against gets all their hits through the trees every time. Yeah, dude, I don't really get hiding in trees. I can't do it. But then I'll see certain people do it. Like that first game we saw where the ogres were just hiding in the trees and very, very little got through to them. That was brutal. So for Cathay, before they're all dead, Jade Warrior Crossmen, Peasant Archers, and then the back of Jade Warrior Crossmen. Really like this build. This is much more along the lines of what I bring. Jade Warriors across the front, some Peasant Long Spearmen, a great Long Marauder randomly. I guess they want to defend against Furies, but it feels like a lot of gold to defend against Furies when we saw in the other game with Nurgle, you can just defend against the Furies with Jade Lancers on the ground. They're pretty squishy. Miao Ying and a Terracotta Sentinel. I usually go with a Dragon Shootugan Lord and a Sentinel, but Miao Ying's also fine. She just makes your army a little thin. And against Nurgle, you really want to go wide. Chaos Furies get immediately murdered by the Longmas, so that is fine. Aside from that, we have double Soul Grinder. We do have Big Daddy Kugath, the Festering Stooges, and another Exalted Plaguebearer, a whole bunch of Nurglings, and another Fury. I do like the Exalted Plaguebearers. Love that unit. It's a good unit. Storm of Shadows hitting one of the Exalted Plaguebearers while Archers also tee off onto him is probably going to be an entirely dead unit, which is huge. That's 1,100 value right there. And the Terracotta Sentinel piles in, now fighting the Soul Grinder, who will probably want to kite away, but I'm not sure. Maybe they feel they have enough infantry support that Kugath could come over and they can just take this fight. Because Kugath is a great duelist. That'll happen the next replays after this one, too. You'll see. Yeah. That is some news. Okay, hold on. I have 8 Discord messages. I need to see what the fuck Llama's messaging me. Cathay... Raced Nurgle Llama. Okay, thanks. So Llama is informing me that he is in fact Nurgle. So Raced Cathay is pushing up. The archers are now within range. It looks like they're focusing on the Festering Stooges, throwing a couple shots at Kugath, but mostly focusing down the infantry. This can be okay, but I normally err on the side of just shooting Kugath while you have the archers alive, because as we saw in the other game with the Iron Hails, the Kugath's on a timer for the amount of streams of corruption you can get and just take out your archers entirely, so I really like taking him out first. Jabba the Hutt, is it too late to join the tournament? This one, yes. This is just replays. We're finishing out the playoffs for our first season of the Vermin League, which is our land battle ladder, kind of like the Ant ladder. We're just finishing out while we wait for IE. These are all replays. The winner has already been determined, but not spoiled yet. Just finishing up our commitments. We haven't been playing a whole lot, honestly. The ladder's been a little dead recently because everybody has played the shit out of the 7 factions they had. Alright, Festering Stooges fighting alongside the Soul Grinder, trying to keep Cathay at bay. Miao Ying and the Terracotta Sentinel just chasing around. Kind of surprised Cathay is keeping Miao Ying in the human form. Her dragon form is a lot more mobile, more versatile, but they're just not doing any damage back. The Soul Grinder's bumping. He's bumping, but he's not grinding. With only 42 melee attack, I can see why. Yeah, he doesn't have a really good chance to hit him. Kugath is chasing down archers right now. That's the world we're living in. Excuse. Sorry, I just need. Yeah. Kugath's beating the shit out of some Jade Warriors crossmen. Meanwhile, these other Jade Warriors are just ignoring their friends dying right next to them. I was gonna say are turning and shooting at this guy because it kind of looks like they're in the position to, but they're just not. So Llama with a nice play, taking his single entities outside of the defensive formation and really trying to take out the archers. As we saw in game 1, if it gets down to just melee units, Kugath can maybe carry you the entire game, so he doesn't care that much. What Warhammer 1-2 faction do you guys think will get the first Lord Pack DLC, and bless you? Thank you. Hot take? What I hope gets the first Lord Pack would be Tomb Kings, Vampire Coast, or Norska. Any combination of those three. What game 1 or 2 race I think will get the first Lord Pack? Honestly, maybe Skaven, and I don't think that that's a good idea, but I think they'll just rush Thanquil out. I don't know, but I think expanding the Game 2 DLCs of Tomb Kings and Vampire Coast / kind of Norska would be the smart move. Kind of like they did with Wood Elves and Beastmen. Like, just expanding those rosters would be super popular. People would buy those DLCs. I just think it's a good idea. But I know they want to get Thanquil in the game, so I could see them also pumping out another Skaven DLC, which would be stupid. Listen, I love Skaven, but they're done. Like, add Thanquil later. It's fine. There's a lot of other factions that need more help than fucking Skaven do. Any chance for a Skaven DLC sometime soon? Yeah. It's almost guaranteed there's one left because of Thanquil. Thanquil has been all but confirmed to be in the game, so then they need to add him somehow. So Nagash Neferata pack? Could be. It could be a Vampire Counts pack. It feels weird because they have so many lords, but that's because of all their, like, variants of lords. They don't actually have that many legendary lords. Like, they have good legendary lords, don't get me wrong, but they're kind of like High Elves, where their lord roster is so huge, but it's diluted with a bunch of kind of generic lords. Kugath is now fighting the double single entities. In 2v1, he loses a lot of things. We have 2 Soul Grinders left, and they should maybe run in and help Big Daddy Cougs. Right now, they're trying to stop archers from shooting him, but Kugath is losing the 1v2 here. Yao Ying gives a lot of buffs to Terracotta Sentinel, and with that, he has 85 melee attack, actually allowing him to overcome Kugath's, 88 melee defense with Plague Father's Oration. All right, tit for tat on that one. But Miao Ying in her little human form is just taking almost no damage. Kugath's really trying to get in there. He needs the single target heal spell of Nurgle that I'm now forgetting. Fleshy Abundance? I think that was it. I don't know. God damn, that was a big geyser of poorly animated blood. Alright, Fleshy Abundance upgraded. Is healing up Kugath, is healing up the Soul Grinders. That is key in keeping army losses at bay, but it looks like Cathay is taking him down. The Terracotta Sentinel is a nice piece to have here because it doesn't give a shit about the Mortis Engine, and Miao Ying is also a pretty good duelist. So as opposed to the other late game scenarios where you had Dragonblood or Shugenin Lord trying to kill this guy, you actually have duelist characters who are doing great. Alright. I have to cough, so one sec. Excuse me again. Kugath's getting low. He's getting low. There's 2 archers still online shooting at him, but one is almost out of ammunition. His heal cap is within sight, and I think we can hit the fast forward button to get towards the end. Miao Ying is going to give herself a regrowth. Kugath going down will probably push us into army losses territory, and he is certainly gone. Cathay loses. I mean, not loses. Cathay wins. Race goes up 1-0. Oh, Llama. Llama sends me memes. Thanks. You wonder if they'll add Ind and Koresh? Maybe. I wouldn't bet on it, but I wouldn't be completely shocked. Alright, Miao Ying got good value. So did the Terracotta Sentinel. Longmas did actually pretty well. Jade Crossman did pretty well. Jade Warriors all died, as they had to. Peasant Peasant Bowman got big murdered, so the long spears. Kugoth, 3,600 value. Both Soul Grinders, about 1,100, 1,500, so pretty decent on them, honestly. Exalted Plague Bearers got murdered, Nurglings got murdered, and Furies got murdered. Semi-top 2. Hey, you guys know that the Fruit Rules got rid of the unit model cap? So you don't need 300 models at least. You can take however many you want. In my opinion, that might have been a mistake. Ogres versus Kislev. Ogres versus Kislev. The model count on Kislev is 118. We have horse archers, 2 heavy war sleds, 3 bear riders, one of which is the Oath Brothers of Tor. We have Tsarina Katarin with that Crystal Sanctuary spell and the Heart of Winter, and we have a Patriarch with AoE healing. So that's pretty degenerate. On the Ogre side, we have the Sky Striders, the Crushers with great weapons. Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw with Bone Crusher and Troll Guts. We have a whole bunch of Ogre Bulls, Iron Guts. Ooh, Iron Guts. Okay, Ogre Bulls, Ogre Bulls, Ogre Bulls. So it looks like maybe just 1 Iron Gut, but still, that's interesting. Noblars, double Lead Belcher, and 1 Maneater with great weapons. Very interesting build here from Raced. Lead Belchers are destroying the Kislev Horse Archers right now, and they're going to get the fuck out of here. Oh, also we had a Vanguard Sabertusk pack. Okay. Well, not Vanguard. It can't be. It doesn't have Vanguard deployment. Must just run up there. Horse Archers are speeding away, and they'll probably escape, though it actually looks like the charge bonus for the Sabertusk might get them on top. And they do pop the By Our Blood passive that Tretch Craventail also has, because he's a Mega G. Alright, on the other side, looks like these little chariots have been poking down the Lead Belchers. Troll Guts cast on them from Raced. Really doesn't want them to die. Interesting. I understand that. He does need them to shoot the Bear Blob, but it's just weird to see Troll Guts cast on a unit like that. I don't think it's an incorrect decision, it's just weird. The Bear Blob is really after the Lead Belchers. Looks like they know they can win any grind fight as long as they get rid of these Lead Belchers. But the Sky Striders will not let them. Charging in along with Noblars and Iron Guts. This could be a pretty big mistake from them. Do we get a Bone Crusher? I wonder if a Bone Crusher cast right here would do a lot to the Warbears. Maybe not, because they're Monstrous Cav, and the Monstrous Cav don't tend to take a lot of damage. Sabertusk is just being sacrificed to run after Horse Archers for the rest of the game, which I understand. It's not the worst thing in the world. What is that, a Frost Fang? Frosty Frost? Yeah, Frosty Frost does some damage to Noblars. Not too bad, honestly. Sky Striders get punked and run away. Oof. That is brutal. For some reason, there's infinite blood spiraling out of this Oath Brothers of Tor. A little weird. Icebane's Kiss can take out some more Noblars. We do have Iron Guts still in here fighting, and Maneaters with great weapons. Now, those guys are going to have to get a lot done. But they're blinded by the Oath Brothers of Tor, which would have lowered their melee attack and melee defense down to like 18, so that's not great. Lead Belchers getting point-blank shots into the blob, and this other one getting a side angle is going nicely. Now, it doesn't look like the bears have taken too much damage, but they are healing this entire time, so their heal caps are going to come into vision soon. Sky Striders pile back in. They even get Troll Guts cast onto them. That'll make them a little healthier, but the Slaughtermaster doesn't have Troll Guts, and he is not looking too good at all whatsoever. He's going to die. Noblars and Lead Belchers are fighting the heavy war sleds, but it does look like we have some Ogre Bulls here to peel them off. Ogres aren't super susceptible to war sleds because they're all monstrous infantry, so they don't get run over as easily. That is nice. Sky Strider's getting good damage value down onto Kislev. Kislev's currently slightly ahead on the bounce power. A little more than slightly, but we are at a key moment for the Ogres. They're routing off one of the Warbears. The other one has By Our Blood popped. Both of them have By Our Blood popped, so after those wear off, if you can chase them off the map, that is like most of Kislev's army gone. And you can see the balance of power rockets right back up to the middle after that. Indeed, the non-ROR bears are both routing. The ROR bears, as soon as By Our Blood wears off, we'll see if they're going to rout, but their healing cap is coming well within sight. You can see it chunking down. And they actually might rout. One leadership. They're hanging on. No, they're not. They're gone. Ooh, that is a huge loss for Kislev. All 3 of their bears are routing, and there's just no way in hell the ogres allow them to come back. There's absolutely no way. So you have some almost dead skirmish cav, you have 2 half-dead heavy war sleds versus ogres, and then you have your hero core. This is looking really good for the ogres if they don't get their Slaughtermaster sniped, which they might. Oh, Raced, what are you doing? Get him out of there! He's routing for a second time. He'll actually shatter if he routes again. And the Warbear Riders are coming back. How is this happening? How is this happening, Raced? No! Patriarch's also going to route. That is pretty good for Raced, and these other Warbears will charge in. They're getting some healing from the Patriarch who's running away. Because the Skaven Plague Furnace can't do Mortisent and stuff while it's routing, but the Patriarch can still heal while he's routing. Alright, CA, I see how it is. Yeah, balancing fucks. Heavy war sleds are in the back line. I don't know what they're gonna do. A rear charge on some ogres could lower their leadership, but it's not gonna kill anybody. Zarina's chilling, she's happy, she's healthy. Where are those man-eaters? Oh, they're so healthy. Yeah, those man-eaters are gonna be crucial in winning this game. Patriarch's getting some distance, and he is very healthy. This can't be allowed to happen. Oh my god, he's gonna rally. Well, maybe they just don't care if he rallies. All the other Kislev units are routing except for the Zarina, so I guess maybe Race is just prioritizing the stuff that can actually do things rather than their support. Still think it was a mistake to let him come back, but it is what it is. Sky Strider should probably be out about chasing things. Definitely chase those Orth brothers. There's like 8 or 9 of them left. 8? No, please, for the love of God, chase them! God damn it, they're back. Balance power is back to about even. I still think the ogres have got this, but it's getting risky. Especially with the Slaughtermaster not coming back. 87 HP, and he's at -9 leadership even this far from his formation. Yeah, he's probably not coming back. Oath Brothers of Tor have a free shot on the Lead Belchers unless some of these ogres disengage themselves from the blob fight. Come back here. Kislev's back up on the balance of power. Again, they are ahead. Sky Striders take the fight with the heavy war sleds. That is a good trade for them usually, but they're just so injured that it does look like they're actually going to go down. Ogre Bulls get a rear charge onto the heavy war sled. Still 4 out of 4 models. Still 3 out of 4 models over there. If they can ever get back near the Patriarch, they could heal up. Oath Brothers of Tor are too wounded. They're too injured. They can't do too much to Lead Belchers as some of the Ogre Bulls peel off, then decide not to peel off, then peel off, then decide not to peel off, then they peel off. And they're coming for the Oath Brothers. Can they finish them off? Not with melee stats like that, you won't. You dumbass. Good luck. Heavy war sleds do manage to take care of the Ogre Bulls on the far side. Kislev still ahead on the balance of power. Sky Striders, not Sky Striders, the Oath Brothers of Tor, stuck in a big fight. There's too many things, but the Patriarch's here. He's trying to heal him up. Go, Patriarch, go. Save the Oath Brothers, or don't. Or don't. That's also fine. It's also a fine answer. Oath Brothers are running. Now remember, the Patriarch already used By Our Blood, so if he breaks, he's actually breaking. And losing that much health, yep, that guy's gonna break. Ogre Lord is almost off the map, which will be real bad for the Ogre's leadership. But I think the balance of power overweights Zarina, and you can see as she's getting currently punked by Iron Guts and Man-Eaters or somewhere around here, the balance of power shift heavily against Kislev if she takes too much more damage. Where's the Patriarch? He's routing? He's not healing anymore. He's probably actually gone. And with that, I do think the Ogres will clench it, because without healing for your war sleds, then it's probably doomed. But it is close. Crystal Sanctuary, trying to buff up Zarina on her way out, but oh, half health Man-Eaters, great weapons. Yeah, they could carry this game. The Ogres did it! They beat the Toxic Blob. Ogres are winning a lot today. Like, they haven't won everything, but they have won a lot today. Versus Kislev and Cathay, which is nice to see. Quick little ice breath out of desperation. But when By Our Blood wears off, this game is over. And Race, tournament favorite, #1 seed, will advance to the finals. It's a pity it didn't work out, but I've not noticed the anti-large infantry. Yeah. Those Man-Eaters are great weapons, were nice. I'm curious what their value was. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up on some messages, making sure none of them are important. Slaughtermaster, the Great Maw, 100 value after being in melee for that long. Yeah, maybe just keep him back as a support unit, unfortunately. Can't do much there. Sky Striders, 3,800 value. That's good value. Man-Eaters the Great was 4,700 value. Let's go. Let's fucking go. You love to see it. That's so good. Iron Guts barely paid for themselves, but they did fine. Lead Belchers did well. Ogre Bulls, Saber Tusks did mixed, but overall well. And Noblars died, but that's what they had to do. Tsarina, 2,100 value, it's fine. Patriarch, good value, that's fine. Warbears, overall, fine value, but not incredible. Heavy War Slides, more value than I would have thought, but they did pay for themselves, so that's nice. And the Kids of Horse Archers were fine. 3,800 and 4,700. That is so cool. Unlike a unit that isn't a Lord for once. Because, like, Lords get that kind of value. Not all the time, but a decent amount in game 3 especially. But like random units getting that is hype. I love it. You just missed the Kislev Blob. You did, but it lost, so be happy about that. Llama asked me what did I think of the build. It is good. It is good. I wonder if you cut one of the 3 bears and maybe get some infantry. Because, like, I feel like... Because remember when you did that against me, you did have some infantry that, like, heal-capped eventually. So it's just a big health pool. Where it feels like with 3 warbears and nothing to protect them at all, sure, they can do good work, but if, like... I don't know. Like, the man-eaters with great weapons are not distracted at all. The only thing they can hit is solid bear. So, maybe cut one. But overall, yeah, it's a pretty good degenerate build. Degenerate. Alright, left screen. Go up. Go up. So, race will advance. Boom. So, Matthew B969 versus John FB. John FB at this point was moving. He could no longer play, so he did ask Renliss to play for him, and Renliss agreed. So, it is by rights John FB versus Matthew, but the games you actually see are between Renliss and Matthew as the champion. Where are we up to? I literally just showed it, Matthew. But it's your semifinal, and then the finals from whoever won between you and Renliss to stop Raced from taking over. Alright. It's our first Cathay versus Kislev of the day. That's interesting. So we'll put Matthew on the left. We'll put Renliss on the right for now. I'm not actually sure who is who, but both of them are in the chat, so they can tell me. Renliss and Matthew, which one of you was Cathay in game 1? I'm pretty sure it was Matthew as Cathay. I don't know, though. Dude, before the changes, like on patch 1, Renliss was so good at this matchup with like his Kossovite Dervish Vanguard, where he would just sprint these unbreakable light calves straight into the cannons and knock them off, and they had the cannon bug, so then there was like a pretty good chance they couldn't get back on. So he's well practiced in this matchup. But Matthew was on top of it, so we have some Jade Lancers in the trees that caught 2 of the dervishes, and you can just see the wolves descending upon him. Peasant horsemen, Jade Lancers all coming back to really stop this corner play. On the other side, we have more Jade Lancers and Jade Lancers waiting for other Vanguard attempts, but there were none. I paused it because, shit's already happening. I want to talk about the builds. Triple cannon, no archers, no Streltsy, and a front line of Jade Warriors, a back line of Peasant Long Spearmen, Dragon-Blooded Shugen, and Lord of Yang with Talons of Night and Storm of Shadows. For Renliss, Winged Lancers, 3 Kossovite Dervishes in the far back. We have a Patriarch, we have Eye Switch of Ice with Leopard Summon and Heart of Winter. Front line of Armored Kossars, behind that a fuck ton of Kossars, Archers, and 1 Streltsy. Thanks, just got home. You were Cathay, you were Kislev? Yeah. Renliss, that tracks, because this is totally your strategy. Our VC and Slaanesh is OP in land battles is in domination. Night Raven, from my early access experience, no. They're strong, but not OP. Good sir. This is finishing out a tournament on the live build, though, so you only have the 7 normal factions. We're finishing out our playoffs from the whole Vermin League season. So unfortunately, this is not DLC content. We're just finishing up our obligations for the people that played, because they deserve some love. Kossovite Dervish is getting caught. This was just a huge gambit, but all is not lost, because back here, what do you have? 1,300 value in the dervishes is getting caught right now, and that is fine, but what is it getting caught by? 800, 1,600, 2,000, 2,400, 3,200. So what Renliss is trying to do, you can see is super aggressively pushing up, is there's 3,200 green assets in the back fighting 1,400 red assets. So while his dervishes are fucked, he is trying to take the fight with a bigger, better army over here. Now again, we see this, and again, I'll say it's a good strategy. If you have your flanks secure, as green does, he pushes up his front line to try and protect the cannons from the archers. He is just trying to keep the archers out of range. It looks like he's a little late this time. But Matthew is usually pretty good at that situational awareness, knows he has to get the front line far enough away that the cannons aren't in range of archers. Now the Unbreakable Dervishes are still trying to plow into the cannons. It looks like Pleasant Longspearmen will move and try and protect them. The Buyer Blood Pass will wear off soon, so they just need to withstand the storm for a little bit. Everything is degenerated into chaos as you have archers way too close to the front line, armored Kossars fighting Jade Warriors, all this stuff. It's all just mayhem as Renliss tries to organize a four-pronged attack. There's just a lot going on. As for Cathay, you can see a couple things slipping through the cracks for them as they also try to fend off a four-pronged attack and, you know, get their troops back in line. Heart of Winter cast on the far side is going to hit Jade Lancers and Peasant Longspearmen. I hope it's overcasted. It is. And if it can charge up and get that, like, 88% slow, then even the Jade Lancers will get stuck in it for a while. Matthew said he took the horse units on a niche pick, but he knew what I was going to try to do. 100% outplayed me on this game. Hats off to him for that. Yeah. I move forward too slowly. I remember moving my cannons backwards just to get away from it. Yeah. Alright. Nice Talons of Night is going to hit like 3 or 4 units up here. The Kislev front line is a little too blobbed up, unfortunately for them, since most of their front line is actually archers. There's very few armored Kossars. It's mostly Kossars and Streltsy. So the blobbing up is a little detrimental. You can see the Cathay cavalry has now won the flanks and is now starting to come back into the mix, which is really bad news for Kislev, and they're falling behind on the balance of power, as I would agree they should. As far as the cannons go, all 3 are still alive. Now one, it looks like it's about to be shut down by these Kossars chasing after it, but the other 2 are doing just fine, and Cathay still has all of their win conditions left alive. I think they will be just fine. What is that? Storm of Shadows lowering their speed by 45% to let the Peasant Longspears and shit catch up to these Kossars. That's kind of funny. These aren't armored Kossars, by the way. These are just regular Kossars. So they're essentially half-assed archers running up here. Wing Lancers throwing their bodies at the cannons in a last desperate attempt to take them out, but I do not think it's going to matter. Kislev is just too damaged in too many aspects. Yeah. I think the Lord's high HP is the only thing that's keeping the balance of power even this even. Dude, when is the next Bath stream? I don't know. Do people even want that? I thought after people saw my crippled naked body live on YouTube, genitals swinging in the wind, they officially never wanted me to do that again. But we can. I mean, we can. It would kind of make my OnlyFans pointless. But I mean, we can if you want to. If that's something you want to do. It's not something I want to do. It's not. Danny Lowe is not a bot account I created to suggest such a thing. No, I mean, sure, let's fucking do it right after this. Nice Heart of Winter, but it is just the death knell in the Kislev coffin. They have a bit of a rallying in the backfield, but it's really not going to matter. Their lord's getting gooned out right now. Cathay cannons are still healthy. Lots of cavalry running around. I just don't think Kislev has the meat left on their bones. Fast forward quick as the Ice Witch dies. And with her, the hope of Ursun's people. Go into army losses, you unbreakable bastards. Human Boy Witcher cosplay? Human Boy Triss cosplay? Wait, wouldn't, like, the diseased one be Yennefer before her transformation? Wouldn't that be a Yennefer cosplay? You fucking dingbats. Por que no los dos? At the same time! Yeah, Cathay won. Alright. Cannons didn't get that crazy of value. They were forced to run away for a lot of the game. Jade Lancers got really good value. That was quite nice. Peasant Horsemen did fine, considering how cheap they are. Jade Warriors did fine, considering how cheap they are. Can you tell which of the Peasant Longspears fought the Ice Witch? Can you tell which of them killed an entire mage? As for the other side, Ice Witch didn't get as much value as I would have thought, honestly. Patriarch didn't have too much to do. Wing Lancers struggled a little bit. Streltsy did okay. Armored Kossars did what they had to. Kossars Spears did okay. Basic Kossars did fine. And the Dervishes, unfortunately, got caught out right away. Even though they had line of sight. Yeah, Renliss. Range units are still a little buggy. What chariots cost $1350 and won almost 1600 value? How didn't they pay for themselves? I thought I said they surprisingly paid for themselves, Llama, but I might have misspoken. The heavy war sleds in your previous game. I think. Semi-bottom 1. Okay. Semi-bottom 2. Ogres again! Ogres versus Cathay. You are noticing there's not a lot of Khorne. Not a lot of Slaanesh. They're pretty bad in land battles before the DLC. After the DLC, I still think Khorne's going to be bad from what I've seen behind the scenes. Slaanesh, they'll be better because of a lot of low leadership factions like Skaven, Greenskins, Beastmen, whatever. But I definitely think they'll be a counter pick. I don't think you can first pick Slaanesh in land battles, even after the changes. They're just not set up for that kind of thing, because land battles is a lot more about ranged assets than domination mode is. Domination mode, you can have a couple ranged assets, but you can't really bank on it for a lot of factions. So I don't think their Slaanesh's just basic Marauder Horsemen that you can only take like 4 of is really gonna change anything. Yennefer, Triss all the way, dude. I hate Yennefer. I hate him. Him, yes. I hate Yennefer so much I called her a him. Dude, in the show, in the games, in anything, fuck Yennefer. I hate her. I just don't like her. Triss isn't my favorite either. She's a little too, like, in the game, she's like, I'm the sweetest person ever. I'm just so full of love. And, like, that can be a little toxically positive, but better than Yennefer. Like, Yennefer, you can literally save her life. Like, she could be about to be eaten by a werewolf. He has, like, sunk his jaws into her throat, tore it out, and is about to decapitate her. And Geralt can show up, stab it through the heart, take out his own neck with his bare hand, put it onto her, graft it to her skin, keep her alive, and then he sits there choking out in his own blood, and he's just like, "Argh, argh." And Yennefer would sit up, and I swear to God, she would look at him and say, I had that completely under control. Goodbye, Geralt. And fuck off. Leave him in the cave, choking on his own blood. And then Triss would show up and be like, nice weather we're having. And it's like, fucking save me, I'm going to die. I hate Yennefer. Hate. Hi, Cyrus. Can't Slaanesh just play like Warriors of Chaos in Warhammer 2? They only have basic Marauder Horsemen. They don't have throwing axes, they don't have Horse Masters. So they could have a max of 4 Skirmish Cav, and it's the worst Skirmish Cav. They can't really play like Chaos, in my opinion. Anyway. You're seeing a bit of a theme in Ogres versus Cathay. Aside from the first game, which was surprisingly double Stonehorn, usually Ogres went back to kiting Cathay because their Rush got nerfed again. Damn it, CA, stop nerfing Ogre Rush. Please, it's the fun way to play them. So we have 1 Iron Blaster, double Noblar Scrap Launcher, 2 Saber Test packs on the far side. We have the Sky Striders versus Cathay, which is interesting. Triple Lead Belcher I saw on the loading screen. There they all are. We have 1 Noblar Trapper, 2 Noblar Trappers, and some Noblars. No basic Ogre units. No bowls, nothing. That's it from Matthew. For the side of Renliss, Dragon-Blooded Shugi Lord of Yin with Missile Mirror, Storm of Shadows, and Cloak of Jet. On the other side, we have Triple Cannon. Jade Warrior Crossbowman, that's fine. 1 Iron Hail Gunner. Jade Warriors with Halberds. Jade Warriors, Peasant Long Spearman, and okay, all mixed throughout. We have 1 Astromancer on the ground with just his items for Winds of Magic regen. No spells bound to him at all. More Long Spears in the back, and 1 Peasant Horseman. Interesting. When can we expect the Skaven changes video? When I'm allowed to show the main menu, so probably Friday. I think the 19th that embargo lifts. Not gonna lie, this matchup is boring to watch. You can probably FF. Oh, fast forward, yeah. Just got back. How's it going? Actually, pretty good, dude. Land battles pre-DLC are usually quite trash, but today it's been alright. So we're fast forwarding because the people in the game told us to. Iron Blaster got kind of fucked on a little bit. It needed some big heals, and the Iron Blaster is still kiting around. Nobblar Trappers plus the Lead Belchers are doing some decent poke onto the Dragon Blooded Shukin and Lord of Yin. Iron Blaster and Nobblar Scrap Launcher are dodging out a bunch of cannon shots while trying to fight. This Nobblar Scrap Launcher is firing through the trees, but Iron Blaster gets completely fucked. Nobblar Scrap Launcher, other one shatters. Oof. So we're down to one Scrap Launcher, some Lead Belchers, and the Sky Striders. That's not looking so good. Another Storm of Shadows reduces the speed by half. Try as he might, the Nobblar Scrap Launcher is valiantly dodging 3 cannons, but when it gets hit, oh boy, does it hurt. Storm of Shadows again. Dodge, 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 dodge. Cannons are running out of ammunition, but here's the problem. Can you even kill Cathay after all this time? Maybe, maybe not. Lead Belchers firing at them as they move up. Boop. Lead Belchers have to kill this entire army as the archers do get within range. Archers, actually, this is what I was complaining about earlier. 160 range versus the Lead Belchers 200s. Lead Belchers don't even have that much more range than archers. And if the archers get in range at all, Lead Belchers are mega fucked. Mega fucked. Nobblar Scrap Launcher takes a nasty shot from some Iron Hail Gunners. He is not going to break them. He'll hang in there. No Cathay boxes? Actually, no. They've all been forced out of their boxes. Definitely hope they change Ogres to be worse at Kite, good at Rush. I hope so too, but that doesn't seem to be the way they're going, seeing out the last 3 patches in a row, they keep nerfing Ogre Rush. It's like, Ogre Rush is good because of Gorgers? Nerf Gorgers. Ogre Rush is good because of, like, basic Ogres are good? Nerf basic Ogres. Ogre Rush is good because Double Stonehorn is good? Nerf Double Stonehorn. It's like, stop! Just stop! Just let the Ogres rush, for the love of God! Don't turn them into big fat wood elves. Anyway. Lead Belchers are actually doing alright, but oh god, they're running out of ammo alarmingly fast. At least this one is. The other two looks like they've had trouble shooting. Cathay is slightly ahead on the balance of power, but it is pretty even, and ooh, Sky Striders. Sky Striders are going to pile into the back line along with some Saber-Tusk packs, and that's going to be pretty wild. Ooh, no, you got to take out the Iron Hail Gunners. Oh god, don't let them shoot you in the butt. Sky Striders, no! No! Okay, it's not doing that much damage. It's not doing that much damage. I thought they were just going to get one shot, one tapped. One Piece. It's the name of the treasure in the Grand Line. Set sail for One Piece. Sorry, I'm having a whole day. Shugi Lord of Yin tried to slow them down, but the Iron Hail Gunners met a horrible, horrible fate. Meanwhile, some Jade Warrior Crossmen are firing. We have a whole bunch of Spearmen running around. For once in his life, the Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw isn't dying. That's cool. Anyone who plays Cathay versus my ogres, their cannons can never single shot. Oh, Renliss is the Cathay, is the ogre player here. I thought Matthew was for some reason. I'm sorry. I'm being stupid. As is my birthright. It'd be a lot easier if I hovered over someone and would tell me who the fuck they were. So, I take no responsibility for my actions. Cathay is in mass rout. Ogres are pulling slightly ahead on the balance of power, and I tend to agree. Lead Belchers are doing alright, but they can't afford to get caught. Peasant Long Spearmen are going to catch up to this one, but it should easily be able to walk away, and Renliss does immediately give it orders to do so. So they're all running around, having a grand time. Sky Strider's going to cycle charge some things. 2 archers are left standing. All the rest are running away, except for this one. We're going to call you Gary. Yeah, you're wait. You are Cathay. Oh, okay, so you are Cathay. Sorry, when you were talking about anybody's cannons being able to go through trees and hit you, and then in this game, the ogres got all of their single anti-artillery pieces completely fucked up, that made me think you were the ogres. Alright. Anyway. Matthew, spoilers! Dogs are chasing away all the stuff. Sky Striders are going to sprint over here, hit these Jade Warrior Crossmen. Even with the Storm of Shadows, they're still way faster than random Cathay infantry. Lead Belchers have managed to peel off most of the Cathay infantry. Oof, that Lord is very, very injured. Remember, this Astromancer has no spells, so if he is left as your only caster, you're not going to get anything out of him. A little bit of fast forwarding has to do with the hokey pokey. Sky Striders almost charge those Jade Crossmen, then they don't. Then they charge some Jade Lancers. And then they run away from spears. They're going to go over and charge some Crossmen. Poke them. Poke them, poke them. And that is it. Ogres! Winning a lot today. You'll love to see it. Do you love to see how they're doing it? Depends on your preference in game style. But they are winning. Somehow he was able to dodge even with the Storm of Shadows and artillery. They were dodging and got fat heals. True. All right. Sky Striders did okay. I thought they would have got more value than that, but they did fine. Iron Blaster got pooped on. Lead Belchers did quite well. Scrap Launchers didn't quite pay for themselves, unfortunately. Dogs chased down stuff. Nobblars died horrifically. As for Cathay, Cannons still all paid for themselves, so that's good. Some of them much more so. Crossmen did well. Iron Hail Gunners did fine. Jade Warriors did fine. Peasant Longspears got mostly murdered. Mostly. So it is a 2-0. Matthew will advance to fight Raced. This happened just last night. Fresh off the presses. Do I know who won? Yes. They revealed it to me, those chuckle fucks. How dare they tell me things? I took you with me, right? Yeah, I did. This is a blocker, right? Yeah, it does. Who wins? Who is the best player in Warhammer 3 land battles before the cool factions arrive? Who is the king of boredom? Who is the sultan of sadness? Who is Bob Belcher? What is Bob Belcher? Where is Bob Belcher? Why is Bob Belcher? If you don't get that reference, go watch Bob's Burgers. What's wrong with you? Matthew in a chat again, because these fucking replays don't tell me who is who. Do you remember what you are between Kislev and Cathay? Knowing you, you're probably Cathay, because you really like to start. Oh, but this Cathay doesn't have any Jade Lancers, so that might not be you. And they have fucking Fire Rain Rockets? What is this shit? Again, I haven't seen these replays. Alright, I'm gonna put Raced on this side, because Matthew's already on the other side, and that involves less typing. Matthew, if you remember which one you are, let me know. If not, I don't give a shit. So even the final isn't live? Nah, scheduling was too much of a bitch. You are Kislev? Okay, cool. So Matthew's Kislev. Raced on Cathay. We have our first Cathay True box of the day. Fire Rain Rockets, Cannon, Celestial Dragon Crossman, and 2 Jade Warrior Crossman Shields. We have Miao Ying, Righteous Lance with Wei Jin, a bunch of Jade Warriors, and a bunch of Peasant Longspearmen. I'm complaining about that last battle mostly because he was hiding behind the trees with one of his scrap launchers and my cannons wouldn't hit him. Yeah, Cathay is usually my first pick. But every time I hid behind the trees and scrap launchers get hit constantly by cannonballs. I feel you, Raced. I feel you, and it sucks. On the other side, getting completely pwned right now by that Fire Rain Rocket, we have Armored Kossars, Kossars of Spears, Streltsy, Armored Kossars, Streltsy, Kossars, Kossars of Spears. So a pretty decent little infantry corps. A lot of cavalry. Triple Kossovite Dervishes, the Oath Brothers of Tor, Ice Witch of Ice with Heart of Winter, no Snow Leopard Summon, interestingly enough. A Patriarch with only the heal, not even the plus 40 melee attack. And we have Griffin Legions, 2 Griffin Legions. What is this build? These are some wild builds for the finals. I also refuse to watch Rick and Morty because of their horrible fan base. Not a fan of Bob's Burgers. That's fine. Teach their own, my dude. That's going to be a brutal Heart of Winter. They got nowhere to go. What are you going to do? Oh, that's really clever. I like that, because either you have to leave the box to dodge it, and you'll run into all this cavalry, which looks like they opt to do, or you have to stay in the box and get completely fucked. That is great. Because why... Real quick, you might be like, why didn't you just go over here? Well, then he would block all of his other units from firing too. So it's either none of your units get to fire, or you sacrifice this one Jade Warrior Crosswoman to the Wolves. That is great. That's a strange reason, just don't engage with the fan base. I don't know. Teach their own. That was a really nice Heart of Winter cast. Jade Warrior Crossman and another Jade Warrior are both about to break. Miao Ying is currently in the middle of the Oath Brothers of Tor and the Ice Witch, so she could be getting punked right now, but she's on foot, and foot characters are really fucking hard to kill, so Kislev should definitely abandon her and just go take care of the archers, because right now they're getting shot to death while they try to fight Miao Ying, which just is not a good idea when she's in human form. It's so funny that her dragon form is much more vulnerable than her human form. Her human form is her tanky form, which is stupid. Alright, Griffin Legion, cycle charging on the side. These are not Peasant Longspears, these are not Jade Warriors with Halberds, so Jade Warriors themselves really don't trade back onto cavalry when effectively cycle charge. And Matthew is, in fact, effectively cycle charging. Though, Cathay is way up on the balance of power, somehow, for some reason. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin are mopping up the backline. They've already taken out, it looks like, 4 ranged units, and they're going for the rest. So that is a really good play that I have not been covering appropriately. I'm sorry, Race, I don't mean to do you dirty like that. You are doing great in the backfield. So both sides' backlines have been completely mucked up like 13 seconds into this game. Looks like the cannons are pushed off. Fire Rain Rocket is too close range really to do very much. It's having a hard time getting an angle on anything. One of the crossmen has been messed up, but the Celestial Dragon crossmen and these Jade Warriors with shields are actually still alive, and Kislev is running into some issues. Everyone's too distracted when Miao Ying is in human form for reasons. What up, Tian, dude? It's been a while. How you doing? How are you doing? This is really nice cycle charging so far by Kislev. You really love to see it. Their infantry got dogged on since no cavalry left back to protect their ranged units at all. So that is a bit of a mistake, bit of a sacrifice, but so far the cycle charging up here has been really well done. I wonder when the second Heart of Winter is coming out, because there is a lot of units to get value on right now. Patriarch and the Ice Witch are both trying to fight Miao Ying. Neither of them are good enough melee combatants to really make that worth it. She has a higher melee defense than either of them have melee attack, and remember, the Patriarch did not bring his melee attack buffs. So actually this is a really losing situation for Kislev right now. They need help. And it looks like help is coming in the form of the Griffin Legion, who are all plowing into the Fire Rain Rockets, really breaking down their charge. Oh, you hate to see it. But there's the Heart of Winter we all know and love. It gets canceled! No! That was gonna be so good! Oh, that is a shame. Maybe Matthew did it on purpose, and it does look like Raced was trying to dodge it, but still, it is a damn shame. Miao Ying is still fighting the Patriarch, still fighting the Ice Witch. We do have the Griffin Legion and all of them charging back and forth. Balance of power is very, very heavily in Cathay's favor. Lord and Hero is stuck, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, they did have a hard time moving. Can confirm. Ice Witch is pulling away. Now, we know she has a Heart of Winter in her. Where is it? Because it got canceled by an item cast. So here's coming the Heart of Winter. You do have a cav full surround, so these infantry can't move. I know it sucks to leave your cavalry into combat, but I would definitely do that right now. Oh, it's hitting 4 or 5 units. Oh, it's so good. Oath Brothers Tor charging in. Fucking Miao Ying still invincible in her like human form. Army losses is almost hitting against Kislev, and they're just trying to hang on as this Heart of Winter deletes like 3 or 4 infantry units, but god damn, that balance of power is against them. Infantry unit are breaking. Balance of power really hasn't moved. No matter what they kill, it just won't move. Miao Ying is still very healthy. Cathay, everything is routing or dying except for the Righteous Lances and Miao Ying. And this game is still like, yep, they got it 100%. Ice Witch of Ice is running around. Oath Brothers of Tor and the Patriarch are chilling and vibing. The last Jade Warrior left on the field might be going as well. Griffin Legion are trying to chase off this relatively healthy Peasant Long Spearman, take them out of the fight. The Righteous Lances of Wei Jin are trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Been busy working, enjoying it, always dealing with imposter syndrome. Yeah. That's good. That's good. You're busy working. That's good. All right. What can Kislev do against such reckless balance of power? It looks like fight these Righteous Lances of Wei Jin as the Griffin Legion and another Griffin Legion and the Oath Brothers of Tor are all coming back here doing some serious damage to the Righteous Lances. They are a good unit, they are a strong unit, but they're a squishy unit if you really catch them on the ground, but it looks like they have. Their healing cap is within sight, meaning Miao Ying has been healing them when I wasn't looking. Interesting. Must have used a regrowth on them or something. We do have some Jade Warrior Crossmen coming back. We do have some Peasant Long Spears coming back. Miao Ying is still running around with a bunch of armored Kossars, so good for her. You just have your best day. Griffin Legion and all the bears really messed up the Righteous Lances. That was a good trade for them, keeping the balance of power further and further away from army losses as Kislev desperately tries to come back in this game. And this is a game. This is the second time today that we've had something near army losses and then dragged back slowly to a playable game state. Griffin Legion plow into Peasant Long Spears, but the second charge in does it in for them. They do break, and without their Peasant Long Spear compatriots, these Jade Warrior Crossmen are in for a bad time. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin trying to get away from the Earth Brothers of Tor. One of them is stuck on the ground, but that is that. Miao Ying throws a regrowth on herself, And that'll probably throw the balance of power back into disarray for Cathay, but other than that, Cathay is doing all right. Something has to be sent to deal with these Jade Warriors before they can rejoin the rest of their force, and the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin will 100% take out these Kossars with spears. But man, Kislev's doing it! They're doing it! Trying to stay together, trying to keep the last breaths of their cavalry all together in line. Jade Warriors getting knocked out before any ranged units can get nearby and give them their 6/6 stat buffs. Miao Ying, while she is invincible in her human form, cannot be killed by anything known to man. She also isn't killing nearly as fast as in her dragon form, so they might want to consider changing her to a dragon form, getting those terror routes, getting those splash attacks in that she can do so well as a dragon. But as a human, Also, I think Raced is also afraid turning into a dragon would make her a target, and then everybody could pile onto her, but I think it might be worth the risk at this point. Armored Kossars firing their little pistols in the air on the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin. They do manage to kill one more model. You see it fade away, and Miao Ying is being entirely ignored as Kislev plows into her last supports. Again, damaging them, really trying to give this Patriarch time to heal up all of his cavalry, get him into melee combat, but he unfortunately doesn't get any there. But they are trying to fight defenseless units while they can, get the healing up while they can. The Kislev blob pulls through. It was not much of a blob. Cuden, I will push back on that one. Normally, I'm right there with you hating the Kislev blob, but this game, man, there was a lot of great cavalry cycle charging on the box. There was 3 angles of attack. All were managed very, very well. Just because in this hyper late game, all these wounded units are sticking together, I don't think that makes it an overall blobby game. Also, it broke the Cathay box. How mad can you really be? Units are shattering. It is officially down to just the Righteous Lances and Miao Ying. And the Righteous Lances, ooh, this could be a big mistake. Trying to pick off the Griffin Legion. Some of them get caught on the ground and cannot get back out of here before the cavalry plows into them, but it looks like they all get attack orders onto the Jade Warriors at this point. But then they realize that they did, in fact, catch a couple models, and they can get some poke damage in there. Miao Ying is trying to finish off the armored Kossars. She's doing her best, you guys. Blob is still better form than the box. Again, it wasn't a blob for 99% of the game. It's just a blob at the very, very end. But for most of the game, it was a ton of cycle charging. I don't know. I feel it's disingenuous to say that this was a Kislev blob game, because they didn't start the game in a blob, they didn't fight the game in a blob, and then the late game, it's like, all right, group up. It's still insane how strong the comp is. Yeah. It's versus Cathay, I'll take it. All right. They charge into Miao Ying, who in her human form takes literally no damage, which is very cool. Very big cool. As long as the Patriarch's in melee combat with her, he is healing up all of the cavalry who are now going to run away, try to cycle charge, and the Righteous Lances land at just the wrong moment. Already, the Kislev blob was trying to disengage from Miao Ying to reset their cycle charge, and the Righteous Lances get rear charge, taking a ton of damage. Actually, not as much as I would have thought. Somehow they're hanging in there. Both Brothers of Tor throw down their debuffs. It's Miao Ying, lowering her stats at least, but not the Righteous Lances. We're down to 7 models, and a Heart of Winter is getting cast. I suppose you have the Winds of Magic. It's your only spell, so you might as well. It'll damage and slow any of the Long Marauders still in it, but they are going to break and run away. Heart of Winter caster plus Patriarch plus Aura Bears equals Blob. It's not as bad as it has been. We take those. Miao Ying is now surrounded. For the first time all game, the balance of power is back to dead even. And Miao Ying is in here fighting. If she has a Talons of Night or something... Ooh, transformed to a dragon form for the first time in the game. If she has enough Winds of Magic for a Talons of Night, that could be pretty crucial on her way into this game. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin coming back to give Miao Ying Guardian and get a rear charge bonus onto the Kislevites. Might lower their leadership enough to actually get rid of them. But now the cavalry can hit, so it's while you do more damage, you are also more fragile. How good is how? I'm confused. But yes, this was a surprisingly interesting game. I agree. Okay, if we can at least... I will meet you halfway, Cuden. I will meet you halfway. The core of the bear blob is still very strong, but I also think this was one of the best and most interesting Kislev versus Cathay games there has ever been. Miao Ying is terror routing off the Ice Witch. The Patriarch is getting awful close to heal capped. Can Miao Ying do it? It doesn't look like the Oath Brothers of Tor do fire off their things. None of the bolts hit her? Oh, okay, good. There you go. I was like, seriously, no debuff. Cathay is falling behind in the balance of power. She's fully surrounded now. Can't she transform back into her human form? Cast a quick Talons of Night. Or actually, she could cast Talons of Night as the dragon if she had the Winds of Magic. It just looks like she doesn't. Her leadership falls to Army Loss's territory, and Kislev claws it back from near Army Losses. They fucking did it. They fucking did it. Oh, how good is Heart of Winter? I see, Elmer. My bad. I don't know. Final Trans also doesn't do Friendly Fire. Probably both should. This is like Transmutation on crack. Yes. Except it really does not do any damage to single entities, whereas Final Trans does. But against multi-entity models, yeah. I was furious this entire game with the balance of power. Yeah. Good game, but those Bears heroes should not survive the entire game fighting so easily. I agree. I would agree they're too strong. I also think the game was very well played. Griffin Legion actually getting good value for the first time in their entire lives. Kossovai Dervish is doing fine. Streltsy got murdered by the Righteous Lances, so did the Kossars, but Armored Kossars in the late game did great, and the Bear Blob did do fine. Yao Ying, 3,700 value. Righteous Lances, 2,000. Fire and Rockets, 1,100. Celestial Dragon Crossman, not quite paying for themselves. One Jade Warrior Crossman got great value. The other one got insta-murdered. Cannon also got insta-murdered. Jade Warriors did fine. Peasant Longspearmen did excellently. Yeah, dude. If you had been Army Lost, that would have been such a dick move. But, like, one thing I've really noticed about Warhammer 3 is how much your Lord's HP pool matters. Like, it's all that seems to matter to the balance of power is like, oh, what's that? Your Lord that you took... Now, I'm exaggerating, obviously, for humor. But your Lord that you took no spells on is worth like 450 gold and is on foot and you left him in the trees? Yeah, but they're full health, so army losses. And it's like, what? No, what? That Lord can't do anything. Nope, army losses. They're full health. Fuck you. All right, game 2. Cathay versus Tzeentch. So that means Matthew is Cathay this time, because race just was, so you can't play it again. Cathay versus Tzeentch, and these are some builds. These are some builds. All right, I'm interested. You win this round. Caster Lord had full health, yeah. Miao Ying, 4 Jade Lancers, 5 Jade Warrior Crossmen, 5 Jade Warriors, 4 Peasant Longspearmen versus Tzeentch, who has a Lord of Change. I haven't seen a Lord of Change in like 65 years. We have 4 Vanguarded Furies. We have a Lord of Change, an Exalted Lord of Change with Infernal Gateway and Blue Fire, some Blue Horrors, 2 Forsaken, and some Pink Horrors. A Lord of Change. We already talked about the Cathay build in the loading screen, but it is just walk at them with your archers, get your tanky-ass melee units into the fight, and shoot them to death. Pew pew. Miao Ying's a nice lord. I have like a full cavalry build versus Tzeentch that I like a lot, and Miao Ying's in it. She's a pretty good combatant. Cathay can have a hard time taking down the Exalted Lords of Change, but Miao Ying actually does alright at it, so I like her. She's good. Quick Fury Summon, gonna get chucked into the Jade Warrior Crossmen. They'll do alright. I mean, they're a summon, so taking on some stuff for free. No spawn. Yeah, we didn't have spawn in a single game this entire tournament, actually, which is interesting. I don't know if it's correct, but it is interesting. Though, we saw Nurgle and Tzeentch today. We have not seen any Khorne or Slaanesh, which is not surprising since this is for $100 if you win the tournament, so nobody's going to throw away any games, but yeah. Kind of says the state of Khorne and Slaanesh at this point. Archer's now getting harassed by Furies and a side cast of Blue Fire plus a main cast of Infernal Gateway. Wow. Really nice Tzeentch play. Already taking out 1 of the Jade Warriors, 2 of the Jade Warrior Crossmen. 2 out of the 5 are already gone. A big blob in the middle could have been punished by Infernal Gateway if that one wasn't already used on that guy. I'm not going to say that wasn't worth it. You killed an entire unit, but it is just funny, like 2 seconds later, there's a beautiful blob target you could have put the Infernal Gateway on, so rip in peace. Lord of Change flying ominously over the Jade Warrior Crossmen, trying to keep them from rallying. Exalted Lord of Change flies up before any of his shields actually deplete. And he has full health still. Furies recommit to the fight against Jade Warriors, and the Lord of Change goes in for another cycle charge, really trying to rout off these Jade Warrior Crossmen. They're actually getting Earth-blooded right now. 2 Jade Warrior Crossmen remain unhindered, uninhibited, unafraid as they're shooting at the Exalted Lord of Change on the ground. Meanwhile, Cavalry try to take the charge, do almost no damage, and get insta-fucked by all the ranged units. Imagine charging into miners with blasting charges, but with more health, more ammunition, and more range. Meanwhile, more Jade Lancers are charging into Keck W ranged units, and they're probably going to die. Furies and the Lord of Change are done with all this shit and charge into the last 2 remaining Jade Warriors, but there are Jade Lancers nearby ready to catch them. But oh no, they're pathed off into Nowheresville. They're not going to kill the Furies that are on top of their crossmen right next to them. That is a little bit of a mistake. Second Fury Summon is out. Second Fury Summon might dive onto those crossmen. Exalted Lord of Change needs to get away from all these Peasant Long Spears and Miao Ying before they take some damage. Tzeentch is behind the balance of power because, I don't know, bullshit reasons. It feels like they're doing okay this game. Commenting while in Attorney, the mad lad. It is replays, I'm afraid. Like, leaving the blues behind because those would not do anything beside against the Jade units. Alright. Now, with all the Jade Lancers out here, those blues are finally shut down. There's so many Cathay troops. Bounce power is roughly even, a little Cathay favored, but the big thing that any of the demon factions suffer from is that their units are so fucking expensive. So there's just like, they've killed a lot of stuff, but there's just more stuff. There's so much more stuff. Tzeentch has had good trades, but just look at the map. Look at how much of Cathay there is compared to how much Tzeentch there is. Lord of Change, Exalted Lord of Change trying to cycle charge through a whole bunch of peasants. Furies are still trying to kill the Jade Warriors. Who knew that giving 90 armor and like 70 base leadership to 600 gold archers might prove to be a problem? CA, maybe fix that. Maybe fix that. Here we have pinks and blues trying to shoot at the Jade Warriors, but Jade Lancers are coming in as well. And I do think we'll be getting some ponage soon. Nice! Infernal Gateway hits 3 different units here from Raced. Very nice. And then the Tzeentch army ability is going to hit 2 or 3 more. Those are some huge casts, doing tons of damage. Dragging the bounce power back towards the middle, but his pink horrors are slowly getting taken out. Forsaken are pushing up. Okay, alright. Tzeentch is breathing some life back into this game. Alright, Tzeentch. Okay, alright. I see you. Okay, alright. Blue horrors on the far side, 10 million years later, are still alive. 93 models out of 120. They're chilling. Ooh, 160. Not as good, but still. Lords of Change have routed off, looks like about 5 infantry units between them. That's pretty good. There's 1 crossbowman left to shoot. And aside from that, it is Jade Warriors and Jade Lancers to try and carry the day. These are some nice AoE. Yeah, these are some good casts from Raised. Is it me or is Cathay a super vanilla faction? They always field a buttload of infantry and that's about it. Yeah, we've seen a ton of cavalry today with Jade Lancers, but they don't have a ton of super interesting stuff going on for them. They don't have any, like, monstrous infantry, though, so it's hard to really spice it up. Their only SEM is Terracotta Sentinels, which are kind of terrible. Their only redeeming quality is that they are themselves unbreakable. I don't know. We have a bit of MacGuffinism, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit. As the Lord of Change and the Exalted Lord of Change are chasing off things. Miao Ying is standing here with a bunch of cavalry fighting Forsaken. More Forsaken are going to kill the last crossbowman. The last samurai. Ooh. Tzeentch's ranged units, we have 3 horrors left. 2 of which are extremely wounded, 1 of which is actually pretty healthy. But can they shoot is the real question. This Lord of Change has been stuck for chasing off a Jade Warrior Crossman for 35 years because his leadership is higher than dwarves. And I already read that chat, so I almost read it again. That would have been a great sin. I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. Pink horrors are still trying to kite out these Jade Warriors. Good for them, good for them. Exalted Lord of Change still running around. Balance power is slightly against Tzeentch. I would agree. We do have 2 healthy Jade Warriors. Miao Ying is full HP, and one of our Jade Lancers is also quite healthy. A little bit of fast forwarding as the MacGuffining occurs. Blue horrors are going to get caught by some Cav and some Jade Warriors. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Tzeentch is trying to rally. Lord of Change is going to cycle charge, and then he runs away. Tzeentch is back together. A little earth blood on the Cathayan troops. Everybody is walking up together. Oh no, the Lords of Change are slowed. Miao Ying is up in the air. purples and pinks are going to shoot at Jade Lancers, but it's not enough. They're too close. It's not enough. They're too close. Plus, this one has a fuck ton of health. He's gonna get back to you. An Infernal Gateway will kill an entire unit. Oh no. Sucks to be them. Sucks to be them a lot. They're dying so horribly. But so are the blues. And the pinks. I forgot the pinks were there. But also the blues. Exalted Lord Change is going back there to try and save them, but it's too late. But it's too late. As for Cathay, they're actually running out of shit. They have one healthy Jade Warrior and Miao Yang. Everything else is so tattered that it doesn't really matter. Lord of Change is coming up from the rear. He could try to rout off some of these MacGuffinisms while Miao Yang is distracted by killing his Lord, which would be very Zinchian to get stuff done while your Lord dies. Some stuff rallies, quick fast forward. Meep! Alright. All the rest of Zinch's support is now crumbling away. We are down to 2 models once that thing finishes crumbling. There we go. 2 versus 285. But that 285 is very injured. Nothing killed Miao Ying, though. So I do actually think Zinch is kind of fucked. But they could probably take out the rest of this army. If they just went about it, they could kill the rest of this army and then both lose to Miao Ying. I do think they're a little doomed. Because if they 2v1 Miao Ying right now, that's cool. But now you're going to get surrounded, so... It's tough. It was a good fight from Zinch. Closer than we've seen Zinch come at beating Cathay in a while. Exalted Lord of Change is getting bullied. While you bully me, we'll do it double speed while we let the Lords of Change pound. They are actually doing alright. Ooh, and a big cast from the Zinch army ability, but the Exalted Lord of Change is getting awful low. The sun's getting low there, big guy. And Miao Yang went back into human form, which means she cannot die. Looks like the last of the infantry units are going to get taken care of. Without units on the ground, even though this guy's standing on the ground, Zinch is losing leadership while this guy's standing on the ground. That feels pretty cool. That's still quite a healthy Jade Warrior unit, though. So if the Lord Change gets a side charge onto the Jade Lancers, they probably won't terror out because they were just terror outed. They're immune to it for a hot second. Alright, double fast forward again. Storm of Shadows. Plus Jade Warriors are actually going to get this around. I saw some healing coming in there. No, it's Wrath of the Storm, giving Jade Lancers 51 magical melee attack. Oof. Oof. Miao Ying's pushing forward. Exalted Lord of Change is crumbling. With that, the army losses will hit for the basic Lord of Change because he's just not cool enough. I really don't think army losses should be hitting right now. I do think he's going to lose, but it's kind of fucked up. Bounce power values him so little. Alright. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. Miao Ying, once she turns back into human form, she can't take damage. You know that. Oh, it's Jade Warrior. That's not Miao Ying. 1,600 value. It's actually not that much. GG's. Matthew B969 will be our Gray Seer champion for Season 1 of the Vermin League. Ugh! I'll go through the values, then I'll do some announcements and shit. Hang on. 1,700 for that. Jade Lancers, wow. 1,700 for a Jade Lancer, too. That's kind of surprising. Crossmen did fine. Well, not fine, actually. They mostly got murdered. Yeah, I got murdered. Peasant Longspears did okay. Jade Warriors did okay. But it was mostly Cav. It was mostly Cav and Miao Ying getting everything done. For Race, 3,700 value on his Lord of Change. So many good casts. 1,200 on his other Lord of Change. Pinks did okay, not great. Forsaken did okay, not great. Blue Horrors did okay, not great. The double army abilities he used, the tier 3 army abilities of Zinch that did so much damage, don't count towards anyone on this damage spread, but those were also very nice. It was a good game. Announcements. Tomorrow, we have a 2v2 Kill the King tournament. We actually have a decent amount of signups for that, and I'm not sure if they're all teams or if some of the signups are a single person signing up, not knowing they need a partner, but we'll figure that out when we get there. The wrap-up of Season 1, I will say this. Congratulations to Matthew B969 for winning, and thank you to anyone who played in the Vermin League. I know land battles were in a tough state. That's not shocking to say. Most of you knew that already. But you really stuck with it. You stayed a part of the community. That was very nice of you. I do appreciate it a lot. I am 100% confident Immortal Empires is going to make land battles better. Will it be perfect? Probably not. Will it be fun? I sure think so. We will see. I could be wrong about that if the balancing is just mega fucked, but it doesn't look like it is. From what I've seen, from what I've tested, it doesn't look that bad. Now, some stuff could be unbalanced, but I still think it'll be fun, and then we'll hopefully get a patch that'll balance some of the things. I don't know. I do hope to see you all in Season 2, which will start as soon as Immortal Empires drops. We're hoping to get the bot updated and ready to go for that. Different scoring system, so I don't have to do it manually. But, yeah. It should be good. I'll be streaming a lot of it. It'll be great. Thank you for sticking around through the tough times. It is appreciated. All right. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye.